Abbey
Yeah,
Road.
there's a guy. If you're looking at the poster, it's over here, Greg. It's on my side. So there's a guy on the right side of the road.
Yeah.
Behind a car, and it's on John's side of the road. John's all dressed in white.
You're talking about the Abbey Road
Right.
cover.
There's a guy on the right side of the road, and he's just a random guy, a random traveler. His name is Paul, right? He's from Florida, as far as I remember. And so he just turns around and he sees these four guys. They keep on walking across the road. He doesn't understand why. So he's like, what are these four kooks doing? That's what he referred to them as, the four kooks. So he goes back home, he tells his wife about this story, and she happens to be a piano player at a church. So, when this album comes out, she's actually at home playing songs on the piano, learning this for a wedding.
This album, Abbey Road, just for people just coming in and talking about the Abbey Road cover.
And he walks in one day and sees her playing the songs from Abbey Road. He's like, honey, it's the four kooks I was talking about. And here he is on the cover of the record.
That's great.
Of arguably one of the biggest records of all time.
Yeah.
And he just happened to be there.
Wondering what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Like,
Can this person collect royalties?
I don't know. His name's Paul. Look it up. It's a true story. I learned this when I was working at the Hard Rock Cafe, just because we actually had the Beatles Abbey Road Gold record.
Awesome.
So I just wanted to know everything I could about that, because there's many stories about why Paul is walking barefoot or one's walking out of step, but nobody talks about the dude on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Well, on that note,
we did it.
That's right. It's Greasy Conversation. You're listening to the Greasy Conversation talk show on RadioVegas.Rocks. We're here with John Bonham Fox, which totally rhymes with that unintentionally. And we've got tons of dank news. We have it built up in our pores. There's an overage in our glands of dank news that we've neglected to bring to you until this moment. Prepare yourselves. It's that time. All right.
Let's jump right in.
Jump in. Wait, we need to activate the submarine of knowledge. It might be coming in kind of hot there. Sorry if I'm being loud, but we're excited.
All right, this is a story that we've had on the docket for probably a month. I've had this in the notes, and it just keeps getting pushed back, and then last week we weren't here, blah, blah, blah. All right. Mysterious cattle mutilations in Oregon. Right?
Yeah.
Not that crazy, right? But these cattles and bull are being completely drained of blood and organs. It looks like something sticks like a vacuum tube inside them, sucks out everything inside, and then just leaves their carcasses there. It's really fucking weird.
I swear this has been a thing that's been debunked before, right? Though, where it was like some microorganism that eats the blood or something like that, right? Am I crazy?
My first thought is, where's the vampire marks, or where are the zombie bites? But I don't see any, because it's got to be if it's being taken out of them, right?
It's a chupacabra.
That could be the case too.
Yeah, but the cow version, not the goat version,
Oh yeah, or where's the vacuum cleaner hose hole?
Yeah, where's the beef?
Are they going directly into the anus, perhaps, or into the male organ? If there is one, they could be doing that too.
Right. Sucking them out. I mean,
Just sucking out the blood without, but they're leaving behind a lot of solid. I don't know. This is a weird way to start. We're getting gooey right at the beginning. I hope you like it.
Okay, so people, of course, are going to come out.
The other pictures.
People in the area are coming out, and everyone has theories. It's a chupacabra. It's aliens. But what if it's really just a group of weird people that think they're vampires?
Well, I just looked at the picture, and if you noticed the end of the cattle, it is definitely it's like one of those bags that have been deflated.
Yeah.
And I feel like it had to have been something with a hose going through that back direction.
That's what it seems like, right? It literally just had everything inside of it just sucked out.
If it's not a prankster, it's got to be some kind of certain disease that pulls, because Man, sometimes something eats the inside of an animal first.
Yeah,
That
that's
hide
true.
is tough. I swear this is something that I've heard debunked before, but then
It
like,
can't be
why is
termites,
this-
right?
Termites, cow mites.
Maybe. I'm not. I know termites take care of wood, and we're out here in the middle of Oregon.
Yeah, there's
Right.
wood around.
But
That's a termite-y
But
place.
do termites?
I don't think termites will eat animals. No.
That's the thing, because I don't
Yeah.
think they grasp onto humans.
But
either.
It's
I
weird
mean-
this is on NPR though, because it feels like the NPR leads legitimacy to this thing that's got to be a hoax of some kind.
yeah, well, they're not saying there's a reason. They aren't saying like what's causing it.
They're just saying it's going
like the
on.
people's right, they're just saying this weird thing is happening, like these cows that are drained.
Look at
and
these
no one knows-
wrinkly, deflated cows.
Yeah, and there's no signs of like predators or scavengers even, which might lend more credibility to the idea of it being some kind of like bacteria or some kind of something microorganism that eats them or something like that makes the carcass like not.
Because you have to believe right now somebody would put this online if they were doing this.
Yeah, you'd think
You know
in
what-
this
I mean,
day and
in
age,
this-
someone would have to
yeah,
brag a
right.
little bit.
Somebody would say, I'm taking credit for doing this. But no one's doing that.
No.
So it has to be something organism related. If
Gotta
it's
be.
happening to more than one
Yeah,
and
there's a
nobody's
few.
taking credit for it, it's got to be an organism of some sort.
Yeah.
That's what it was. This one I'm remembering now that people were saying was like aliens doing stuff to cattle, but it was a certain like marmoty thing that just ate cattle like butt first.
Oh, it just like slipped in there.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, if we were looking at that cow again, that's exactly what happened to it.
Yeah,
It's
it looks
gotta
like it
be
got.
marmoted up or something.
Look at the back end of the cow. See, it's
Yeah.
all deflated. So what you just said is completely
sense.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Has
There's
to be the
been
case.
stuff like that before.
It's the marmots. Yeah, well, even like insects, there's some wasps that'll like plant eggs in other insect, like caterpillars or something, and
Yeah,
then the eggs
this
hatch and eat
feels-
them from the inside.
Waspy.
So I mean, it could be, yeah, that'd be some big ass.
You don't
scary
see
ass
any
wasps.
holes. See, that's the case. There's no holes of any kind. No bite marks. No blood. No skin, like
No.
from the outside. It's all internal.
They went in through the anus.
Like I said, or the mouth, whatever, depending on, or the organ, whatever, if that's a male or female. It has.
This is how we get ants.
It's true.
All right.
All right.
I think I'm done with this bowl.
Okay, we're done with this bowl. Shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can say S words a lot right now.
Yeah, all day.
That's actually allowed.
Fair enough.
I'm trying to
fine.
like conserve to maintain strength, but
I'm not trying to curse at all. I
I'm
mean,
glad you took a moment to enjoy it. There we go.
All right. Should we get to the meth news?
If you
I know-
get a hankering and need to push one of these two, just barge
just a
over to-
random button.
we'll just
Yeah.
throw it at you, and then you can push it.
Yeah. Well, these 3 rows are where the juice is. Those 3 rows. Anyway, Greg's
These three
got.
rows here.
We've got a traditional, a common thing, a segment that Greg's created.
I've heard about
in his
this.
infinite knowledge of what we enjoy. It's meth,
Meth
news.
Wow, what
Yes,
an
we-
opening! This better be good.
It is. We enjoy meth. I mean. Okay. Sorry. Okay.
You enjoy the
byproducts.
meth news.
Yeah. There we go.
I guess we enjoy it in a third-party way of like what it does to other people for our amusement.
I
Yeah.
mean, to be honest, with the short film that we made together, it wouldn't surprise me that you two enjoy meth
Oh,
regardless.
God.
Okay, but go ahead,
Yeah.
Greg, please.
All right. Yeah.
Disorganized thought. There's a major
All
symptom.
right. So this California man was arrested traveling from Yellowstone, and he was somewhere in I don't know, he was traveling from like Yellowstone to North Dakota or whatever, and he got pulled over and told the officers that he went to Yellowstone and he saw Yogi Bear. And then the officers conducted a search of the vehicle and they found 8 pounds of meth in the tire of the car, you know, like the spare tire.
Who tells someone seriously that they saw a cartoon animal?
I know. That's
Like,
the thing. Like,
How
but
does
part of
anything
me,
start that
wants
way?
to know, like, because, you know, it matters about context. But like, was he just trying to make small? Was that just like a casual joke? He just kind of like because he was nervous. You know, he's like, "Oh yeah, I saw Yogi Bear. Haha, don't check the tire." You know,
Had to be.
or if he was like just so like tweaked out that he was like, "Oh no, there's Yogi Bear's up there, man. He stole my picnic basket and everything, man. I had to look for him. I've been up there for 2 weeks hunting him. Now I got to go like reload, man." You know,
Or maybe he could have just seen a bear and just said his name was Yogi.
yeah.
And he was just like, because you go out there in the woods and you see a bear, you're like, you randomly will call somebody, "What up, Smokey?" Right? Or something like that. He might have done that. Or, again, he was really, really deep in the meth
Really
situation.
on one. Yeah.
And he was like,
Yeah, it could have been an ordinary bear that simply told him with its speaking mouth that his name was Yogi.
probably could have done that too.
But the thing, like, it seems like he went to Yellowstone specifically to try to find Yogi Bear.
Yeah, because that's where Yogi lives. As we all know, anybody who'd watched the cartoon, that's where he lived. So if you go to Yellowstone Park and you're looking for a bear and you see one, you're immediately going to say, "That's Yogi." You're not asking its name. You're just going to say, "That's Yogi Bear."
Yeah.
And then you go up to the officer and say, "Dude, I saw Yogi Bear. Did you see him?" What are you talking
and then you
about,
get arrested for meth.
Yeah.
But
This person very much does not look unhigh.
No, you kept bringing that up, and as I'm talking to Greg, I'm looking at this photo. I'm like, this dude seriously is on one,
Yep.
and he doesn't care. You can tell.
He's proud about it.
He's
Look at
proud
that.
about it.
Chin up.
But I mean, did he like? Okay, so if he was living in California at the start, did he just like get this idea? And imagine he started this like long ass meth trafficking fueled journey to Yellowstone specifically to try to find Yogi, not just any bear, but Yogi Bear. There's a lot
His
of bears
idol.
in Yellowstone. There's
So
only
which
one
begs
Yogi.
the question now: was he watching the live animated, or was he watching the cartoon to get his inspiration?
Right?
I know.
This thumbnail showed that live this guy.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'd like to think. I
Oh,
mean,
it
he's
keeps
old
going
enough
away.
to have been able to probably
good
watch the
thumbnail.
cartoon, right?
Oh yeah.
So I'm willing to bet he's had this in him since he might have been a child to get this idea to go on a trip to just say, "I'm going to find Yogi Bear." That's my life's mission, is to find Yogi Bear on meth.
That he knew ever since he was a kid.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, I mean, he
Hell
might
yeah.
not have developed the meth
Yeah, that came later.
till
and that-
later.
and that spurred the whole adventure.
Right. He's like, you know what? I'm on meth. Now's a great time to go on this adventure. I've got nothing to lose.
It's bear time.
So I'm bringing my 8 pounds of meth with me. I'm going to put it in the tire of the car. And if the cops find it, then they find it. But when I get arrested, I'm going to keep my chin up because guess what?
Chin
I went
up.
to Yellowstone and I found Yogi Bear,
Right.
bitches.
Yeah, he's proud. I think Buck has the best explanation in the chat. He says Yogi Bear is probably his meth dealer.
Dude,
So he's
that
probably trying
is
to rat him out. Yeah.
Buck. Great job.
Well, that's I was like, what if he brought the meth because he wanted to like party with Yogi Bear?
Yogi Bear looks way more like he's on meth in this photo than the dude did.
Oh man.
Those eyes, though, that's
I don't know. I don't
when
know.
you look at everybody with their eyes all big, that's a symptom.
I feel like he's more on acid than meth, but I could be wrong.
No, there's that twinkle. I see the twinkle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's got the acid twinkle.
Oh,
Nice.
for sure.
But then again, anybody who makes live animated cartoons like that had to have been on something.
Totally. I'm sorry. I'm side laughing because I didn't know our chat censored people, which
Oh,
makes
really?
it funnier. Yeah.
Buck, you're being censored, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's what other words that long start with F, so it's
Which
not like a
which
successful.
chat is it that's censoring?
It's the Facebook one.
Oh, they censor people now?
It might be Restream.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Anyway, hide your kids. It's greasy
Hide your
conversation.
kids.
Man.
Well, hide your kids. There's a meth dude looking for Yogi Bear.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm freaking out because we've already done an eighth of the show. We're at the 1/8 mark. Prepare for 7/8 more excitement.
All
Well-
right.
Yeah. Greg, go ahead.
All right. So this looks like one of yours was, and I didn't check it out until earlier, and I got to say it supremely creeped me out. And it's the artificial skin cover for the cell phones.
This is my favorite piece of news
Dude,
of
this
the
is
month.
just
Wait.
disturbing looking.
Say that again?
It's
Yeah.
It looks like
Artificial skin for phone covers?
Yeah.
yeah, it's
What the heck?
It gets better. It's not just an artificial skin as a phone cover. This artificial skin serves a purpose. It's an extreme version of Apple's 3D Touch, where it detects not only movement over the skin, over the creepily realistic cold, dead skin, but it can sense pinching. It can sense when you how deep your finger goes into the skin. And check it out.
tickling.
Yeah, it looks gross because it's like gooey on the sides of the phone too.
Well, it just looks really dry too.
Yeah.
Which is just like
Yeah,
dry,
it definitely needs some
pale-
moisturizer.
Yeah, dry, dead, pale flesh on a phone. It's
That's
it's,
like, it reminds me of the soap from Fight Club, and it reminds me of the DVD version of Army of the Dead or Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Army
the,
of Darkness.
The Necronomicon.
Necronomicon. Yeah,
the
yeah,
book,
yeah.
like when you got that DVD and you felt it looks exactly like that.
See, I
Yeah.
can see the depth of how far deep into the skin it goes. And for the audio people, this lump of skin is on the back of a cell phone, and it also kind of like goes over the side of the
I'm
cell
with
phone.
Buck over
too.
here. Buck looks like he's
Throwing up
vomiting,
about it. Yeah.
and I'm the same way, dude.
oh yeah, me too.
You like gurgled about it.
I know.
Oh,
Yeah, I tried to move back from the mic, but you know. it
The
happens.
edges is where you really know this is a prototype
Oh my
product.
goodness.
Who would sell it where it looks like Play-Doh going over the
So-
side of the phone?
it's not somebody's real skin, obviously.
It's taken from human cadavers.
Is it?
No. Oh, would that be? No.
That would be terrible. Oh man.
I mean, that wouldn't be the first time I've heard that, but like, okay.
I love the like mouse, but you rub on the back of the phone. That's like practical. The touchpad application is gross. But look at how they're pinching and pulling to zoom and making this woman frown by pinching her
No thanks.
stuff.
Yeah, it just doesn't. It's
It looks
not
like severed skin put onto this robot.
So what we're doing is definitely getting closer to making robots and machines with human flesh. Is
Yeah,
Oh,
what-
yeah, I don't
absolutely.
think that's gonna be a deal at
I mean,
all.
we're there already, but
yeah,
Ooh, there's the wires
Androids,
going to
man.
it.
just call me when it bleeds, man. I'm gonna cut the shit out of my phone. Be like,
The
oh yeah,
pinching, the pinching is the most awkward.
yeah, thinking about that logically, like if you got that phone and you were a cutter, as in a suicide person, you could just cut that and it might be okay for you,
yeah,
to be honest.
yeah. That's
Yeah, it's a good supplement. Look, it's just a grid of wires in the skin. Speaking of which, I was feeling, since you're moving out of the country,
Oh, yes, I am.
I wanted to tell you how I support that. I've always proclaimed that leaving the country is like the suicide of champions.
And where did you come up with this?
Well, you get a similar result, but it's less permanent, and then you know you live again. As long as the plane doesn't crash, you totally have an afterlife as a new person, having changed your name in a new country. Because you have to change your name when you move countries, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and you get a whole new identity. All your credits reset. It's awesome.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But the one thing I just did not want to focus on is the plane crashing, you asshole.
Oh, they don't do that much, though.
No, I know. But
Just don't go.
I'm starting to believe in this this movie that I love called Risk Cutters. And it's, interestingly enough, it's about people who commit suicide, but they go to this purgatory, right?
Okay.
But it's not like hell, it's not heaven, but it's pretty much people who've only killed themselves. It's not like everybody who's just dead. It's like only people who've killed themselves.
Only the manual folk.
Only the manual
No
folk.
automatics.
And they live normal lives. They work jobs at like a pizza restaurant or like at a gas station or
Yeah.
at a bar.
That's just like leaving the country.
It's, I guess. I guess. But this movie ends up being a love story, and it's really good. And if you've never seen it, I would recommend it.
right.
Media
I'll
recommendation.
check it out.
Yeah. But thank you for telling everybody. Yes, I am moving. I'm moving to Australia. I'm basically
Nice.
leaving Las Vegas right after the summer and going directly into the Australian summer. So I'm having a never-ending summer.
Double summer.
Double summer.
Double summer. Double summer.
Alrighty. Next piece of business.
Yeah, so this actually looks cool, but there's going to be a home like device where you can cut vinyl,
Yeah. Get ready for some
make
tech
your own vinyl records.
because haven't we all wanted this? And the only ones available before were ridiculously expensive and unreliable. This might be the same, but it could be the future. if this is even remotely reliable, the price will only come down with 3D printing technology. It's just like a really detailed lathe is all that's going on. And lathes are hip now. I guess there's not any other pictures to show you. You can help kickstart it if you really... well, let me show you better. Hold on.
That's a really cool idea.
Yeah. It's worth a kick.
Is it just like a 3D printer that's specifically for vinyl? Or is it just a different thing altogether?
It's not additive.
Okay.
But it cut vinyl, 10-inch ones too.
I love the headline too, where it says mixtapes will never be the same. Because awesomely enough, if you can just put on vinyl like your favorite songs, like your greatest hits, and it makes that vinyl for you.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
Yeah, especially if you get 24-bit audio, like you're familiar with the HD audio, where it's better than CD quality, which YouTube supposedly broadcasts on that level, but then it's got that squirrely compression gurgles to it too. So
I mean, this would be amazing. Like, you could truly make your own soundtrack. Like, normally you would have a playlist anyway, but now it's on vinyl, and it's something that you can have. You can even make your own cover for it, an album, and pass it out amongst your friends, and that would be like a really cool theme party to have, right? You guys all show up with like your own custom vinyl and be like, yo,
hell yeah.
Oh,
check this out.
So fun.
Right?
I want this so bad.
Same.
I know.
Because I'm a playlist kind of person.
Yeah.
And I've tried to teach people how to make their own playlist, as in like their own vinyl. It's really simple. What you do is you listen to the first 30 seconds of a track, you listen to the last 30 seconds of a track. It doesn't matter what's in the middle. As long as your tracks seamlessly flow together, you're good.
Oh, yeah.
So that would be the same thing with vinyl.
Yeah. Could make and small run indie music situations too. As long as the discs don't cost that much blank, you could really... You have a buddy that can print the sleeves.
What do you think blank vinyls cost?
Can't imagine. Can't be bad. It's a lump of vinyl.
It has to be. I mean, let's just say a single vinyl itself would probably be less than $10. Maybe even $5.
Because it's got to be the stamping process that's the whole cost, because it's a really common type of plastic.
Yeah.
It's just a lump of vinyl. I mean, polycarbonate shells for tech stuff are cheap to buy when you need like a new back of like a cheaper phone. It can't be.
So this is
far from
definitely,
that.
if this is the case, this is definitely going to revolutionize the music industry, because then bands who want to put out their own vinyl have this machine. They can easily bypass having to go to a record company and start their own.
You would
need
nobody.
Yeah, totally.
There's no one you'd need anymore.
And there's like a resurgence of vinyl too. I think this is like for the first time since, I don't know, what like 1980 or something, or mid 80s, whatever it was. But like,
Greg, I think I told you earlier, I sold my vinyl bin, my collection, for $500 to somebody who's a vinyl collector. So vinyl is truly not just made a comeback. It's really like still embedded in culture.
It's actually going to outsell CDs this year.
Yes.
I think since
I was just about to say that.
I don't know what the last year it was like.
I don't remember the last time I even bought a CD. And I'm a physical copy person.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. But yeah, vinyls, man.
Vinyl Saturday.
That's what
Vinyl Saturday.
That's what it sounds like when you make your own vinyl.
Yeah, it's the sound of you cutting a record.
I just randomly pressed that button. I was like, we're just going to go with this.
That's the way to do it. I've named them before, and it was just like...
that was an exercise in futility.
Yeah, it was.
I needed it.
Yeah.
The buttons are therapeutic.
Do you need me to come over and blow some of my caramel smoke on you to get rid of your Tide smell?
Yeah, Greg smells like Tide detergent.
You're good now?
Yeah,
it's
I'm
an
good
issue.
now.
Okay, just making sure.
It's become a concern.
Yeah, it's a very big concern for me. All right. What are we doing? What are we doing now, guys?
Next juice.
As I blow out my vape juice.
All right. So before we pay some Bob Thorntons.
Yeah, not to Bob Thornton time yet.
Now I picked this article because there's quite a few of these a year, and this one is about 6,000 pounds of frozen meat sold at Walmart is recalled for possible salmonella contamination. Right? And it sounds terrible. And there's a few like recalls every year romaine lettuce, all kinds of shit for salmonella or E. coli. But when you think about it, like 6,000 pounds out of like all the frozen meat that's fucking sold at Walmart, like who gives a shit?
It's
Like,
not that
It's
many.
processed food.
Yeah.
It's bad for you.
yeah, just flat out anyway.
It's not bread though. At least you can
And
keto
it's-
it up with this garbage.
The salmonella is just a bonus.
Yeah.
The salmonella
Makes
is a
you
bonus
stronger.
for sure. And as a person who recently became
Sure.
vegan this year, I'm not like upset that this would happen, but I'm upset for the people who really wanted to buy those sausage patties for breakfast, but they couldn't because they got recalled for salmonella.
Right?
So I mean, again, I'm
What a
not
world.
one of those pushy vegans who forces my food ethics on somebody
Yeah,
else.
yeah,
You eat
for
what
sure.
you want. I'm eating what I want. But hey, if something that you like gets recalled, I'm really sorry about that. But hey, would you rather have salmonella or would you rather,
I'd rather have my sausage patties, goddammit.
Right, exactly.
I'm like, is this where my salmonella came from?
Did you
No, man.
recently have salmonella?
No.
Did you have these for breakfast?
No, I just I just wanted to point out because like that's a major problem I think with the just news articles is it's all about the headline and trying to get clicks, and it's just like more than 6,000 pounds, but like in the big scheme of things, that's like a fraction of a percent of the amount of frozen meat that's sold at Walmart's.
Now here's the question. You read the tagline, you clicked on it.
Mm-hmm.
So what would your tagline be for clickbait for that?
For this one,
Yeah. That's what I want to know.
oh man, I'd write like, who gives a shit? That would be my tagline. Like food with salmonella
I was
at Walmart.
legitimately trying to ask, like, what would it be? And you're like, who gives a shit? That's what the
Yeah.
tagline would be.
It shouldn't even be an article. God damn it! That's what trips me out about it.
I think Buck had a good tagline for it, but I think it was actually meant to be a comment to an earlier piece. But I read it in this context.
All right.
He put, I wonder if that's the same skin they use for the sex robots.
That's definitely for one of the other articles for the phone.
But the sausage patty
Yeah. I can
just-
see it. It fits.
process some animal skin and like repurpose.
We have talked about animal skin today. We've talked about human skin. Now we're talking about sausage patties. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done.
Oh man.
All right.
I'm really enjoying this. Thanks for having me, guys.
Right?
Yeah.
We
Thanks for
needed
coming
you.
on, man.
Yeah.
We did.
You're doing the
I
best.
kind of want to come again before I leave. This would be fantastic. I love this.
We might be able to arrange for you to pop in as like a bonus guest.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Maybe next week we'll see.
Oh.
I don't.
Oh, next weekend I'm really booked. But hey, I'm enjoying being here. This is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I should have done this a long time ago. I'm sorry
Oh,
it took
yeah.
me so long.
No, we're glad you're here now, man.
All right, so Greg,
Cece,
we're
our
gonna-
guest for next week is actually Cece, who has an awesome show on Radio Vegas also. That's earlier on Saturday. You might have caught her earlier today, or is it next week? But it's every 2 weeks, and it's good.
Sweet. Should we
Yeah, that's
Should
the
we pay
whistle
some-
boom of goodness.
pay some Bobs?
Bob Thornton, some Bill
Billies.
Preston Esquires.
Pay them billies.
can't wait for that next movie next year. It's gonna be fun.
Hell yeah.
A new Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted 3, man.
Oh,
They
thank
filmed
you,
it. They're
finally.
done. It's called Bill and Ted Face the Music.
I didn't know. It's
Yeah,
like my
dude.
favorite movie.
I know.
Just because, so now
real.
they're older. They have kids.
Yeah.
They haven't written a hit single yet, which sucks.
That's where the comic book started. Maybe it's based on the comic books.
And Death is coming back, so I'm very excited
Hell
about
yeah,
Death being
dude.
back because my favorite line is like, like his rapping Reaper line is like, you might be you might something, I don't know, but then he was like, you might be a street sweeper, but sooner or later you all pay the Reaper.
Oh, yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
dude, the Reaper's
Oh,
the
yeah,
man.
dude.
so cool. I did his dance.
All right.
Oh man.
Hell yeah.
You're happy. It made you so warm inside. I can see it.
It blew my mind.
Dude,
I just got-
just seeing the video of Keanu and Alex Winter together announcing it was like, this needed
It's
to happen.
happening. Yeah.
That movie.
Finally.
So let's
shaped
pay some Billies.
Billy Bobs.
Engage.
Hey guys, it's Crazy Jay from the Rockin' Comedy Show, and I wanted to talk to you about the Ballsy Company. They have a fantastic product that I am absolutely in love with. In fact, here's a clip of the Rockin' Comedy Show as we talk about it.
That's ballsy.
Ballsy.
Oh, ballsy.
That's ball wash.
That
Yeah,
stuff
ball
smells
wash.
really
Funk
good.
off your junk.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's for guys on the go.
For guys on the go.
You know.
You know, you got your nut rub, your back spray, and for everything else, nuts, butts, and your body.
The funk off your junk. That's kind of hilarious. How do I get one of those? That's like
Smell
a fun
how
gift.
good it smells.
Hashtag live balls out.
Live balls out.
Right.
That's right.
Guys, if you go to ballsy.com or ballwash.com, both of those companies work. If you use coupon code Radio Vegas, you'll get 15% off your first order.
I'm gonna smell the Sax spray right now. It's
I want
smelly.
the ladies here at Radio Vegas to know what it smells like, so that when we walk by them, they're like, oh.
Someone's freshened up.
Guys, seriously, you gotta check out Ball Wash from the Ballsy Company. Mention Radio Vegas in that coupon code. Get 15% off. You won't be disappointed.
Kicker Audio.
So check it out, Mario. They hit me up, the guys from Kicker. They said, Jay, you have done a fantastic job promoting these headphones. And
They're awesome.
They're all over Facebook. You have tweeted them. We know that you love the headphones. But how come you haven't talked about this wireless Bluetooth bullfrog we have? And I said, well, to be honest with you never sent me one.
We haven't tested it.
Within 24 hours, there was one delivered to my house. So now, this is gonna blow your mind, Mario. Listen. You're impressed. No dead space. Speakers on both sides. Isn't that awesome?
Very impressed.
It's Kicker Audio, everybody. You gotta go there. Check them out online.
Kicker Audio. Living loud. Remember in the beginning, when you first started to build a life for you and your family, you never imagined it would come to this. Instead of living your dreams, you're living with debt. In fact, it's smothering you. Now there's a way you can take back control with one simple call. If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, you qualify to receive a free, no-obligation consultation on how to get rid of that debt for good. Call the Debt Helpline now. We work on your behalf to reduce your debt. We specialize in credit cards, retail store cards, and medical bills. One simple call is all it takes to get the ball rolling to a debt-free life. Stop living with debt and start living your dreams. Call the Debt Helpline now.
800-709-4389. 800-709-4389. 800-709-4389. That's 800-709-4389.
That's the sound most people make when they leave Pinches Tacos. Why is that? Because Pinches Tacos prides themselves in making every location unique, but give every location the same feel. I'm not talking cookie cutters like those big chain restaurants. They blend into your neighborhood and create a place you want to call your second home. Their doors are always open. Well, at least until 11 o'clock. Their mission is simple. They provide you the best taco experience by using high-quality meats and seafood, fresh garden vegetables, handmade tortillas, and high-quality artisan breads. They could have made it complicated, but they chose not to. Why? Because they found through experience that keeping things simple is a good recipe for success and happiness. It's also a good recipe for a pretty tasty Pinches taco.
According to Spanish language Stack Exchange, we always use it as an insult enhancer and can turn almost any curse word into a really rude one. Pinche pendejo, pendeja equals asshole.
Now they have 6 locations, 2 right here in Las Vegas. Come in, find out why we love them so much. Check them out on Facebook or visit the website, pinchestacos.com, for a location nearest you. Hey everybody, it's Crazy Jay, and I want to tell you about ZipBiz. I know what you're thinking. Jay, you've been telling us about ZipBiz. Well, I have the brand new flavor right next to me, and I haven't tried it yet, so let's open it and give this a try. My bottle of water, shake that up. Now this is a brand new flavor, Mango Peach. I have not tried it. I'm looking forward to it. They have a wide variety of flavors. If you didn't know, they've got grape, fruit punch, orange cream, orange soda, iced tea, all fantastic. But let's give Mango Peach a try. Oh man, that is absolutely amazing. I'm a fan of all their flavors, but nothing like this. Oh man, that is absolutely delicious. Mango Peach, Zip Fizz. Get it today. Visit zipfizz.com. Tell them Radio Vegas. Tell them Crazy Jay sent you, and get your Mango Peach today.
Zip Fizz energy, no sudden crash, 10 calorie, low carb, vitamin B, the healthy energy mix. Zip Fizz.
Do you fear the dark? Do you fear the light? Are you afraid of what you've seen? Are you afraid of what you can't see?
What responses, you say you're testing it at the house, what responses did you get when you were testing it?
I mean, I've heard my full name, Chris's name, just direct replies to questions and stuff.
On World Ghost Radio, the paranormal, the spirits, the unexplainable, with your host Rocky on World Ghost Radio.
And we're back. It's Greasy Conversation, the talk show. And you wanted a beverage, yeah?
I did. Can you hand me one, please?
Do you have a preference?
I
by
do
chance?
not. Do you have any caffeine?
Yeah.
Cool.
What about this fella here?
Oh, what is this?
Nice ice cold Pepsi.
Have you seen this product before?
Pepsi, the choice of a new generation. We're
yeah.
very 90s right now.
Yeah.
Like talking about Bill and Ted, talking about, and that just reminded me of like that whole Wayne's World segment where, Garth is sitting there in his Reebok gear and he's like, I just don't know if like I could sell out or something like that. And he's sitting there and that, Wayne is talking about like the ibuprofen or Bayer or something like that.
Yeah,
that's
like
one of
the
those
product
things.
placement. Oh yeah.
See, Bill and Ted, Wayne's World, those were the things, man, that really got me. I love it.
Okay,
Hell yeah.
I have one. Tums. When I was little, like the first like toddler in front of the TV era, when the Tums commercials would come on, I would cry because they rush at you and they're like Tums, the Tums, Tums, Tums. And like the font got all big and that was terrifying to me. Suddenly large fonts.
What were you on
freaks
when
me
you
out
were
to
a
this
child?
day.
That's
Oh
what I
man,
like.
I mean, how
it's
old-
more what I wasn't on. I probably should have been.
Speaking of that, there was a news clip I think that we found earlier.
Oh, we want to jump to that?
Can
All right. Yeah, we totally can.
Yeah, we have a guest provided news moment.
Yeah, so
Since you just said you should have been on something, I'm thinking this person was either A, on something, or B, and I'm just saying this as a person with mental health disorders. This is a person that should have been on something if they weren't.
but wasn't, yeah.
Greg, please provide us.
All right. So this was someone got set on fire in a Taco Bell
And where?
in Florida.
Of course.
Yeah,
It's always
else
Florida.
would it-
Gotta
yeah.
have our
It's
Florida,
Florida.
news.
And this isn't like
That's an ongoing thing for sure.
It's going to be your, other than your mess segment, Greg, you're also going to have what's going on in Florida segment.
oh
next.
yeah, we
no,
always
we
have Florida
actually
man.
do
Oh, do
every
you?
week.
Yeah,
Oh,
we usually
yeah.
have like Florida man
There's
news.
at least one other Florida in here somewhere.
My apologies.
Yeah.
No, this is bonus Florida.
Yeah. So, and this is like this person came into a Taco Bell with a little container of gasoline. I don't know how big it was, but I imagine just one of those like couple gallon you get from a gas station full of gasoline. Dumped it on this woman and lit her on fire.
Yeah, it's not like she just walked in and like had a lighter and said, "Hey, I'm just gonna like start torching you." She legit came in with gasoline and poured it on it and set her on fire in a Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Like,
I could imagine like you being slow to react to that. You'd think you could stop someone pouring a smelly liquid on you before they set you on fire. But if that's happening quickly, you'd be like, "What is this? Is it my birthday? What's
the
going on?"
first thing I'm thinking of course, if this person set on fire, they're immediately running for the border. That's the Taco Bell slogan.
It's like what?
I had to come in with that. I had to
You
come in
slipped
with
that one in there.
Had
That
to
was
slip
awesome.
That deserves a.
Thank you. But
Hell yeah.
let's talk about this. So it said in the article that
Wait, did you put the article in the news thing by chance?
Yeah, I did.
So I want to see if I can get a pic. Is it at the bottom?
Yeah, it's toward the bottom of the second page.
in this article it says that there were other fires in close proximity and that she was on a bike, which it actually proved that she was on a bike, that the cops tased her. That didn't work, and then she wanted to stab one of the officers. So she's not being charged for the other fires because there's no clue that's not her, or is
this
it? It
person
could be.
looks friendly. No, this is her. I'm pretty sure because
No.
I think this person.
Oh, it
is,
identifies as female. Right.
Yeah. I mean, you really should shave that much.
There, yeah.
That's so much beard to identify as female. Still, it really confuses people.
She identifies as male.
No. She was born as a male and identified as a female.
Okay, so in this though,
I'm all for, but I mean, help us out a little bit because you're still clearly
shave it off.
You're presenting as a male, even if you identify as a female.
Correct. But I mean,
Okay.
it's whatever.
Yeah.
Point being is that she's
this picture gone.
She's not being charged with the other fires because they don't know if she did it yet. But
For sure,
apparently
yeah.
there were other houses, 2 cars, and a church.
Yeah, so
it's
the church engulfed in flames.
So
yeah.
somebody's been listening to some Swedish death metal and wanting to engulf some churches.
So I feel bad because this person looks pretty chill, pretty fabulous. I could hang out with this dude.
But
But with the fire thing is bad. Don't do that.
There was a little clue that can tune us in on whether she was on something or not on something she should have been, and that is that the police tased her and it didn't stop her. Now, when that happens,
yeah, that's a warning.
That's like a big fucking neon sign that some PCP involved.
We're not born able to take a tasing.
No.
And they did it twice, by the way.
Yeah. So there's definitely some Florida stuff mixed. That's a Florida cocktail.
What do you think she's on?
I'm gonna just guess PCP.
You can't get PCP.
Can we
anymore.
ask the audience? What
Yeah.
do you think she's on? Please let us know. I would like to discuss this with you.
You can comment late too if we're
we'll
if you're not
pick it back
live.
up. Yeah.
Check. Old comments are also welcome. It's all good.
That story just really warms my heart.
Warms a lot of places
You
up
think?
there. What about arson?
Oh,
Arson.
man.
Arson.
Arson.
Arsonists.
That was haunting. Oh, if you ever need an echo, that's the yellow lever.
That's the
Yeah,
this one.
that.
Echo. Ooh.
I call orange things yellow. Just roll with it.
Okay, in this segment was what are you on now?
That's a new segment. Like, what is Waz on right now?
You're welcome.
Well, I'm itchy. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Greg.
Let's see. I'm trying to decide.
I'm seriously really enjoying this. I needed this
Nice.
night out into
thanks.
the podcast world. I've always been told actually, hey, you should have your own podcast. I don't want one. I could be featured on one. It's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
But I don't want my own.
I can understand that.
Totally.
There is more work that goes into it than is immediately apparent. We actually have a whole other journalist that contributes articles, which is Anch.
Yes, I
Anch
do.
Kerfoot, and there's a lot that we pile up throughout the week to make it happen.
Well, if you ever need, even though I'll be gone, if you ever need like a musical kind of like thing or even a film thing,
Just send us.
some news clips and I
Yeah.
can talk something and I could just be like, hey, here's this.
You can send an audio file, or actually preferably a video file, and or send links or anything.
I
that
will
you
do
wanna
that.
Yeah, that'd
contribute.
be dope.
I
Oh,
will
yeah.
gladly contribute to this show.
Australian correspondent.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
you guys know how to PM me, so you can toss me chunk suggestions too.
I know
No
how to, but I
promises.
really don't like doing that.
We're strict on our format, so don't be offended if I don't use something that you send in, but it's likely I will. Or your little fledgling company or whatever, maybe we'll give you a holler.
Oh yeah.
Community.
That's the one, man.
Community time.
All right.
Yeah,
this
that's the spooky whips.
All right. This looks like one of yours was, but it's about the Vatican
Oh, yes, I'm so glad.
released an e-rosary.
Yeah.
Can you please explain?
It's like a fitness bracelet, but it's a rosary. It does what a fitness bracelet does, except one of the things that it
So
tracks
watches your heart rate and stuff like that. is what
does
you're
that
saying?
tracks your exercises, your steps, like a pedometer, but it also helps you track and schedule your that thing where you do a prayer and touch it and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And it's activated by doing the sign of the cross. Oh
Can,
my
can
gosh.
it can it schedule your confessional too?
Yeah, you can
Probably.
like book an e-confessional.
But the thing is that
No pun intended. I just said the word Jesus. I didn't even mean that.
Shoot, where is it? This is one of my favorites.
it's sold by the Vatican, by
Here
the
we go.
Catholic Church, and it runs $109 a pop.
I tell you what.
And it's already been hacked. Okay.
This is when you know that the church is really like in the 21st century and they're trying to cash in on the market, which is interesting
yeah.
because they would never have done that before. But and I'm not a believer of religion. I'm a believer in the universe. That might be God to some people. Whatever, it's cool. But
yeah, and like community.
Interestingly enough, I do love this Pope more so than any Pope I think I've ever loved.
Totally.
And I've never loved the Pope before.
Yeah.
Like, but this guy seems like he's appreciative of like all human beings. And,
Yeah.
you know,
At
he
least,
doesn't
yeah.
he doesn't matter. He doesn't care if you're like gay or whatever. He's like, no, God would never do this. But I don't know if Jesus or God would allow a rosary.
More than just a rosary.
More than just. I'm sorry. More than. Is that what it said?
Yes.
Right as I said that, you're just like, no, more than just a rosary. That was spot on. Was
I'm on top of this.
an initiative to pray. Can I read that?
Oh, sorry. Let me
go for it.
Wow.
An initiative to pray for the challenges of the world and the mission of the church. A pedagogy to learn how to pray the rosary and find the way to your inner belief. A diversity of topics. Standard rosary, contemplative rosary, thematic rosary, an audio guide to contemplate and listen to the gospel.
This makes me want a rosary up too.
I kind of want one now myself.
Have you ever done like Buddhism chants and stuff? It kind of makes you realize that you can pretty much focus on anything, whether it's real or not, and it really helps your brain.
I really do enjoy this picture of him
Right?
like, in like prayer mode, but it's like contemplative.
But look, your rosary is clearly like photoshopped on him because the shine on it doesn't
And I'm
match
wondering,
the environment.
I'm wondering if his name is Jesus or Jesus, only because he's got a brown skin tone. As we all know, like Jesus was never a white man, so this has to be close relation, right?
Yeah, I mean, this guy looks.
Now you're all wondering what is John on at the moment?
Because
Just Pepsi.
I'm
Just
remembering
Pepsi?
that because he doesn't look that dark skinned to me. He looks like in that kind of Israeli middle ground pocket.
Right.
Bless
so-
your heart. That's totally great. I ain't hating. I kind of am jealous. Like, he looks so peaceful by this lake.
Right.
I want to put this rosary on and have a moment like that daily.
Like, what do you think he's thinking about right now? Or in that photo, what do you think he's thinking about?
Debt. That's what I'm thinking about when I'm like being peaceful by a lake, but my head's down in my hands and my eyes are closed.
I mean, he's like, I wonder how many steps I've walked today, Jesus. How many steps have you walked next to me?
Well,
none.
That's so beautiful.
None. Oh.
Those footprints were, it was just me. Actually, it turns out carrying myself, those 2 footprints were just me. It turns out those footprints in the sand was just me taking care of my own shit for once.
I don't know if it was this. I think it was last month when I worked the festival downtown here, LIB. I walked like 27 miles in 3 days because I was a coordinator for Universal Music Group, and like the steps were out of control. Like I looked it up every day, and I was like, holy crap.
Closing rings,
like
as they say.
27,000, 30,000 steps a day.
Mad closing rings.
Man.
I was like, what the heck? So over 3 days, it was like at least in the 70s or 80,000.
Damn.
So, but this, I don't know. I'm not religious, but I would so get one
I
of these.
want this object. I know it makes me want to. And like, you're
Look
like,
how peaceful he is.
how many steps did I do today? You do the sign of the cross, and it like beeps and activates, and you find out. Look at this casual situation.
Oh, look at that as a definite runway statistic right there.
For peace in the world, that marketing.
But I feel like if you had enough faith, like Jesus would just tell you how many steps you are, without needing an e-rose. Like, you don't need an app for that. Like, I got Jesus, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So-
just pray harder.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. There's the little thing we glossed over here for a second. Apparently, these Vatican coders aren't the most experienced because their exercise API, which is spelled like exorcism in this article, shout out to the Register UK for that hidden pun. But they exercise API gremlins, but they must confess they missed one little monster. And basically, it leaked a bunch of people's personal data just already.
Yeah, like right off the bat.
Yeah.
And then even the fix wasn't like a full fix. Like, if people wanted to, they could still brute force the pin numbers to get in. But they corrected the initial problem. But I mean,
good dive on the details.
Be a little wary of religious organizations trying to sell you little technological trinkets, because it might be that they're just trying to cash in.
So when are we getting? Oh, like special underwear, for example, or? Dude, eyes got so big about
dude, the undergarments. Yo.
By the way, I just looked up on my health data how many steps I took in those 3 days. The first day, September 20th, was 27,991. The next day was 22,087, and then the next day was 18,000. But it looks like it keeps going in between. You see that?
That's not what I'm looking at on your phone. Can I see your phone a sec?
Yeah, go ahead.
You have extra notch. You're the first person I've seen that has an X series. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I have to show the camera.
Go ahead.
Do you have an X series phone with like extra notch? Whereas
I do.
Bonus notch.
I didn't realize. I didn't know what that. I don't know what you're talking about.
The controversial notch when Apple released a quote unquote full screen phone that still had a notch out of the top. When a lot of other companies were introducing bezel-less, which is smart because you don't have a mechanical camera popping out.
Right.
But yours just has like this perfectly shaped extra little bite out of it that just is adorable.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like people with going without the case, being one of them out the case daredevils.
That's me. I don't care. Well, I mean, it's already cracked anyway. It is what it is. But
it looks so perfectly rounded.
Plus, he might be one of those people who can just like hold on to his fucking phone.
Well,
I keep it in my pocket. I'm not Becky.
I mean,
I'm not Becky.
It is cracked, so
it had a spill of some kind.
But I'm not Becky who walks into Starbucks and drops it while getting my latte or getting out of an Uber.
Yeah, I am. I drop my phone.
I just
daily.
imagine there's some people that like try to like Pele it around. Like everywhere they go, they're just like bouncing it off their knee and like hacky sackying it around.
I've seen that.
These screen covers. This is like the 5th one I've gotten for this phone. I just crack them and put a
huge
new cover
ass
on.
Phone.
Well, yeah, it's not new.
Right. Well, I don't have
6S Plus.
6. Right. I had a 10.
6S, motherfucker.
But see, that's the
6
phone that
plus.
doesn't. I don't have
Yes,
phone service
S
at the
plus.
moment since I'm moving. So like, this is the phone
It's
without
just a
service.
baby laptop.
But in my right, and in my jacket over there, I have my government phone that I'm using.
Nice.
Because
Yeah.
hey, they take from me, I take from them.
Yeah.
We're good. I get a free phone out of the deal. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's why we pay taxes.
So when I disappear to Australia and I don't have a phone, you still know how to reach me online.
Yeah.
I'm not hard. I'm not hard to find, by the way. My social media is the same all over. The same name.
Until you change your name, because you're changing countries, so you have to change your name, right?
What do you think? I should change my name? You know what? Let's ask the audience.
Yeah, what
audience,
did he change his name to?
My full name is John Bonham Fox. I'm named after the drummer of Led Zeppelin, which is awesome because you have a poster right next to you, Walls.
Hell yeah.
And then there's a poster behind Greg over there for the
I'll
U.S.
show
store.
you.
But
This,
yeah,
behold.
right there.
It looks like it's made of Legos, but it was really the real poster from that.
It is. It's from The Song Remains the Same.
Yep.
And I love that. I love that film.
Shout out to Crazy J for the excellent wall adornments.
It definitely shows John Bonham in his element with his cars and his drinking and his drum playing. But anyway, if you think you know what I should change my name to, give me an Australian name. Think about it. And get back to me. My social
comment
media,
below. We'll be checking
Or you
all
can
week.
comment below that you can send it to them. You can send it to my social media, which is at JONBONHAM on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. PlayStation as well. If you need to go on there for some reason, hit me up.
Don't let the autocorrect change it to a John O.H.M. Don't be me. Don't let that autocorrect get you.
Do not put an H in there. First of all, people
It's
always...
less efficient.
Here's some news for you, Greg. People always, and I mean this, always assume that because my name is Jon, there's an a-thun attached to it. On my birth certificate, it says Jon.
Which is so efficient. That's so modern
Nothing
and
else.
proper.
By the way, my full name in total is only 12 letters.
Beautiful.
My first name is 3. My middle name is 6. The last name is 3.
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
it. Simple name, right?
Hell yeah.
But people are always like John or the Jonathan. I'm like, no. I'm okay with
Superfluous
this. I get it.
characters are not okay.
No, but I definitely feel like I might need an Australian name. I don't want to be like Mad Johnny, like Mad Max. That'll be kind of cool. But that's a nickname, right?
Mad Johnny's, a fucking contender.
Do you know if I was going to Mexico that my name in Spanish would be Juan Zorro?
What?
I learned this when I was
Is
in high
Zorro
school.
Fox?
Zorro is Fox, right?
Wow, they have a cool word for foxes. Cool.
And when I found out that my last name was Zorro in
did not know
Spanish,
that.
I was like, yeah!
I didn't know
That's pretty
either.
So Juan Zorro would be my name in Spanish
Hell
if
yeah.
I was moving to Mexico.
That's too cool.
Anyways, Greg.
Well, wait, before we get
Oh.
too away from the cell phone cases.
Yeah, sorry.
Buck talks about Neil deGrasse Tyson's theory that he talked about on Joe Rogan, that if you don't have a case and you fiddle with your phone a lot, where it's safe to drop, say above a table or where it's carpeted, then you'll be like a military soldier, the military kind of soldier specifically, that juggles their weapon around so they always have good balance of it and good command of it. But the problem is, the last time Neil deGrasse Tyson was on Joe Rogan, his phone was broken. So even he broke his phone. It didn't work. You're going to drop your phone. He's like, oh, yeah, I was
Eventually,
carrying
yeah.
some groceries. He had this elaborate, but short end of the story, I dropped my phone. Like you told me I was going to.
Arguably the smartest man in the world at the moment, and
This
he
theory was
breaks his
incorrect.
phone.
Well, what's smart about him is he's able to grow and realize when he's wrong. And in this case, he was wrong, dude.
That's why I like him. He admits when he's wrong.
That's right.
But he still
Can drop a phone.
Wicked smart.
Wicked smart.
Yeah.
There you go. Wicked smart. And Greg, on to the next news.
I love how you're commanding him. You're like, do it, sir.
do you-
No, that's great. No, I need that.
Okay.
It's refreshing.
Yeah.
Like you can take a breather. I can do this. It's over here. I just press a button. I say, on to the next one.
All right.
I love it. All right, this is kind of skimp on the details, but still kind of crazy. This happened in Washington. A couple of roommates. Guy is sitting at home chilling, and his roommate comes home, and the guy who's home asks his roommate, are you a vampire? And apparently this guy had some mental issues. It later reveals in the article.
Is this article about me?
No.
Did you have a vampire roommate, or have you been the vampire roommate?
No, I think I am the vampire. We've talked about this, no?
With the biting people or the nocturnal
Okay,
part?
let's get into the news and then we can
All
talk
right,
about that.
Because I'm definitely nocturnal.
So am I. But let's go ahead,
So
Greg.
the guy he responds, is that what the kids are calling me these days? And then his roommate attacked him because he thought he was a real vampire, and he got arrested for it.
So this is real life, what we do in the shadows kind of thing going on.
Yeah, because the moral of the story is, even if your roommate is a vampire, even if anyone near you is a vampire, it's not an excuse to attack them. You've got to be tolerant. You have to be accepting
of their beliefs.
That's right. And they're not biting you if they're not attacking you as a vampire. Then if they're just getting bagged blood or ketchup or whatever, however they're doing, it's safe. If it's safe,
as another vampire like yourself, because we know our kind.
Yeah, I sparkle, you guys.
Right. This is one of those occasions where apparently the vampire did not think that human was worthy of consumption.
Nah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you and I are in the same room as Greg right now. We obviously don't think that Greg is worthy of human consumption, so we're not drinking his blood. Sorry, Greg. That just happens to be the case.
He's just proved himself to be valuable. I actually think he looks quite delicious.
Oh, so I'm a familiar.
He's a familiar. That's exactly what he is.
Nice.
I was just about to bring that up. Thank you very much, Greg. And we are in the horror segment. Ooh, vampires. So, yes, I mean, this guy obviously was on something to even attack a vampire, but first of all, what was his weapon of choice to kill a vampire?
They didn't state the article is pretty skimp, honestly, and I didn't find a lot of details.
Man, they should have said what he tried to kill the vampire with, because we all know the weapons that they should kill him with, right?
What was
yeah,
this
it should have
attack?
been a wooden stake, but I'm sure
You can just slap box him.
You can't. That vampire will beat you up.
Struck him with a metal rod.
Okay,
But was
there we
it
go.
silver?
I missed that.
Metal, maybe.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
so metal.
silver rods could work, I guess.
Get a steak, dude.
I know.
Take him to a steakhouse.
Medium rare.
Yeah, it's
Our vampires hate that shit.
If you're going to take a vampire somewhere in this town, you take him to the steakhouse at Circus.
Oh, God.
Now, here's the thing.
The salmonella, though.
No. Here's the thing. As a former meat eater, I know this. The best steakhouse in town is Circus Circus. Now,
Really?
you think to yourself, right now, you go into Circus Circus, you're like, that place is a shithole.
It is, though.
Legitimately. but the steakhouse is the best part of it.
No.
That's the little oasis
I mean, it doesn't
hidden
set
in
a
Circus
high
Circus.
standard.
All
It
right.
is- oh, I mean, I would take Dr. Dre there if he asked.
Whoa.
Damn.
That's how good it is.
If Dr. Dre
How'd
was
you-
like, take me to the best steakhouse in Vegas, like,
The steakhouse at Circus Circus, but we're going to have to go through a shithole to get there.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Best
we
come
have
armed, man.
a trip to travel to do that.
Fucking Circus Circus. That's like Mad Max now.
Yeah,
As we're talking about me moving to Australia,
Right?
thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Hell yeah.
There was a lot of really good movies filmed in Australia. Mad Max, The Matrix was filmed in Sydney.
Did it take
Yeah.
place in Australia or just filmed there?
I think it takes place there.
Cool.
Mad Max. I don't know if they ever say it's just like
Yeah, it's just a desert wasteland.
It
it's
looks
just
like
some
Victorville.
city.
Yeah.
It looks like
It
Victorville.
looks like Hesperia.
Yeah.
Or somewhere outside in California.
Yeah, I
The
thought it
movie I
was
was talking about earlier,
Apple Valley.
Wrist Cutters, was filmed in that area of the desert between California and Vegas, or somewheres in those
Yeah.
outskirts. So when you're looking at the desert, you could really tell, like, oh, I've been there. You know,
Yeah, Joshua trees.
right. Well, you've definitely been there if you've been on
Creosote
stuff.
bushes. I grew up in Apple Valley, Victorville area.
Oh, so yeah, you would know.
Yeah, creosote bushes.
I'm
Holla.
seriously intrigued by this man attacking vampire.
Well, and it's just somebody thought was a vampire, but I mean, you gotta have some like if you're in a position where you legitimately think someone else is a vampire, and you're familiar with like vampires being supposed to be like really strong and all that, and you have the balls. I mean, good on you, man. I guess, but it turns out it's
And
just
I
your
loved
roommate.
how I just saw, as we were talking about steakhouses and wood, whatever, I just saw Buck's last comment. I didn't see what he was talking about before, but it says knock on wood.
Yeah, holla.
What is he talking about there?
Something vampirical. Oh, he said he's still running strong as far as no cracks on his caseless phone.
Oh, this guy.
All right, good.
This guy.
Fucking yeah. Okay.
After you said that, Buck, watch. You're gonna drop your phone
Yeah.
within the next couple of days,
Get
and you're gonna have
ready.
to go get it fixed.
Look at me. I'm the only person who never dropped a phone. Although I'd be doing the same thing. I'd be like, yeah, I've never dropped my phone. What's wrong with you guys?
I just
And then you're
definitely.
gonna pull a Neil deGrasse Tyson and come
But
up with
we-
a broken phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would.
I have dropped my phone many times.
All right. Should
Basically
we,
every other day.
Should we do our second instance of paying some Billy Crystals?
Paying
Indeed.
Billy Crystals now?
Yeah.
All the Billies.
We're locking them in. Lock and loaded. Load 'em up.
Lock and loaded.
What is Jesse Ray's Barbecue? Well, it's a tiny, unassuming place with a modest menu of platters, sandwiches, and house-made sauces. Located at 5611 South Valley View, by the smell alone, you're gonna know you're in the right place. Come try the award-winning slow-smoked ribs, chicken, pulled pork, hot links, and brisket. The sauce is also something to talk about, as you will want to eat it with every bite. Here's a tip: their sauces are available for purchase. When people ask you, how do you like Jesse Ray's Barbecue? You'll say, like most people I know, I don't like it, I love it. Jesse Ray's Barbecue is 100% legit. Stop on by for a meal that will satisfy your barbecue-loving lips. Mention RadioVegas.rocks for 10% off your order. Jesse Ray's, located at 5611 South Valley View, on the corner of Valley View and Russell. Come in, take a bite, find out why they're so award-winning.
Is your butt a crudely built birdhouse? No. Then why are you sanding it with toilet paper? Dude wipes have aloe vera to protect your sensitive side. See? Sensitive.
Come on, dude, take it to the hole. Hey, Bobby, I feel like going out tonight, but I don't feel like going to the Strip. Any ideas?
I say we head over to the Golden Tiki over on Spring Mountain Road.
I've never been. What's so great about it?
Dude, they got some great, crazy drinks up there, man. And it's right in the heart of all the foot massage parlors, so if we can walk there, you know, we get a foot massage on the way back.
Or in case we strike out, right?
Man, you're not gonna strike out. Dude, I get laid when I walk into the Golden Tiki.
Really? I'm in.
Come on down to the Golden Tiki, located at 3939 Spring Mountain Road, right in the heart of Chinatown. You're going to love it. This place is absolutely amazing. Come and check it out for yourself. 3939 Spring Mountain Road.
This is an urgent health notice for all residents suffering from back, neck, knee, and wrist pain. You may qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you, but the deadline is fast approaching. Simply call the Health Alert Hotline now.
You heard right. You may qualify for a pain-relieving back, neck, knee, or wrist brace. These items may even be covered by Medicare or your private insurance. The Health Alert Hotline is your brace company. These specialized braces have been tested for pain relief. Call us toll-free right now to determine your eligibility and to learn how to use your private insurance or Medicare to minimize your out-of-pocket cost. Don't wait. If the deadline passes, you may lose your opportunity to get a pain-relieving back, neck, knee, or wrist brace at little or no cost to you.
800-238-4840. 800-238-4840. 800-238-4840. That's 800-238-4840.
Let's face it, every once in a while, we all need a little help. A call to the bullpen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, have I got a product for you. Rick Knucklecock here to tell you about an exciting new product called Spunk Lube. Yes, Spunk Lube, the all-water soluble lubricant that'll help you perform in the bedroom. Yes, Spunk Lube. You can use it to loosen pickle jars. Play a game of Hide the Pickle. Hide the Pickle. Use it to grease your ball bearings. Do you have a squeaky back door? Squeaky door. Need to glaze a ham? Or how about frost a donut? Frosted donut. Yes, Spunk Lube. And boy, do I have an offer for you. If you call now and mention RadioVegas.rocks and order 3 jars of Spunk Lube, you get 2 for free. They often say 2's a crowd, but 3's a party. Spunk Lube. Visit us at spunklube.com.
Be sure to get your mix of music. Listen to us with the RadioVegas.rocks app available at the App Store. And check out our VIP card, interact with us in our chat room, and scheduling of our RadioVegas.rocks shows, plus podcasts. It's all available on RadioVegas.rocks app.
I feel like when there's something I own with a signature on it, that I feel responsible for it. Like I'm trying to be less materialistic and only own things or own more things that are like replaceable, because I already own some things that are kind of cool, like valuable, that like I feel like I'm a steward of, like some old video game machines and stuff that I'm waiting for them to go up in value and so things like that. And I'm worried to take on a new thing that I would be a steward of because of its intrinsic value due to signatures or something like that.
So I understand, and I've helped a lot of, because I was in the music industry and I still kind of sort of am. I kept. And I've met a lot of musicians, and I've had a lot of things signed. And earlier this year, I raised money for suicide prevention. And if you donated to my personal team, you were entered into a raffle, no matter if you were on the team or what. But every person who was entered in the raffle, they were available. You know, if you, I had a an e-raffler, right, who chose the winners at random. Like I didn't choose them; it just randomly chose it, right?
Yeah.
A generator, and the top winner. One of the coolest prizes in there, the top winner chose, there were concert tickets and a meet and greet with a band, They didn't choose that. They chose something really awesome. They chose a signed program from Audioslave the night that they first ever made a live performance.
Oh, wow.
I had that, right? And it was the only one that they ever signed.
Wow.
And it was the only one in the world that had that from the night of their first performance.
Damn.
And I bookended that with Tom Morello's personally used stage set list from the last night they ever played as a band here in Las Vegas
man.
at Holiday. He took it off stage and handed it to me personally. So the winner chose that. So stuff like that, I've had.
But you have an internal connection to its origin and stuff,
right? Because I was involved with the band and I knew Chris and I know Tom as well.
But I feel bad getting an object that doesn't have that connection to me, but just for the signature.
It's not signed to me though.
Then I'm
that
like
poster
a
that
steward.
you're talking about.
No, but I feel like I'm taking on like a new
responsibility.
Like exactly.
But here's the thing about that: the stuff that I gave away, people would say, "Why would you do that? Are you really suicidal?" I'm like, "No, I tried to raise money for suicide prevention because my friend died from suicide." But here's the thing. If I know these items that I'm selling are going to a good home, then that's okay. Because I've had the moments with those people.
Yeah.
You might not have met Henry Rollins. I did. And I had that moment, right? But it's okay to pass that poster because now I'm passing on these good vibes.
Yeah, and I feel like I've been in a stage in my life, especially over the last year and a half, where I've been trying to be that person more and pass things on that I haven't loved or played with as much, and rather than take on new things that feel like it would go against this like personal goal I've had in that way. That's where my reluctance comes. I'm like, I'm trying to be in a purge mode and like own less things. So it's like, it feels like it might be a step back.
Stuff?
Yeah, I can so relate to that.
When I knew I was moving, I went out to the garage and looked at all the stuff from the last house that I moved, and there were about 8 bins. 8 bins. Most of it's movies and Blu-rays and music stuff, and a lot of clothes that I don't wear anymore because I used to be 2X. Now I'm down to like an XL large, but there was a lot of cool stuff in their posters. I just sold 2 Tool posters from 2007.
Oh, speaking of Tool, I'm trying to be like more Tool focused on a different kind of Tool, but like a couple cool like pieces of audio gear that like might have had history or been cool to the right person, but were less useful because of their vintage nature. I traded to John Kilbach, Holler Def, shout out to Def.
What up, Def?
And Naked City Audio. Yeah, you might know Def. Yeah, exactly. So for a drum machine and a sampler and these tools I've made a lot of music with. So it feels like when I purge, it's also like that's another goal. Is like I'm tools only right now. I'm looking for objects I make things with.
I'm a macro-fi person, so I definitely know
Yeah,
that.
that's right, macro-fi.
My boys, One Pin Short, I've been on tour with them, right? And I know a lot of the other bands. There were so many good bands through macro-fi.
Oh wait, pause on that thought. Speaking of cool bands on macro-fi, you're listening to Greasy Conversation on RadioVegas.rocks. We're experimenting with cold opens. So if you fast forwarded through the commercials expecting to hear this intro that you're hearing right now, then you missed some content.
It's true.
Content. And
yeah, cold opens. Tell us how it's working.
Greg, on to the next one.
I actually refuse.
You refuse?
No,
do you want me to read something?
He refuses sometimes. You just got to roll with that. Sometimes we have a refusal.
I actually have more meth news that I forgot about.
That's right.
And this one is fucked up.
Uh-oh.
More fucked up than the last one.
Well, the last one was kind of, it's like the guy.
Of course we can beat that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This one is just these 2 dudes, all right? I don't know if their meth lab blew up or what, but it says that the house, during a house fire, these 2 brothers saved all of their meth cooking, not all, but they
this is messed
tried to save their meth cooking equipment and left their 82-year-old grandmother, Gladys Ann Willow, in the house. They were more concerned about their meth equipment than the grandma.
Until the grandmother part, I was like, yeah, go for it. Rescue that stuff.
Right?
But then we gotta get the grandma first. And the pets.
So
well, the pets definitely go first, then the meth.
Then the grandmother.
Then the grandmother. And I don't mean to say this. Every human life is worthy.
But this is a meth
grandmother. But the lady is 82 years old. She's lived her life.
Oh yeah.
Get the meth. The meth equipment will last a little bit longer than the grandma will.
Okay. Valuable view on it. That hadn't occurred to me.
Yeah.
I'm not a meth cooker, but I'm just saying get the pets first because the pets matter. The pets are probably going to go just maybe a little bit longer than the grandma will.
82. Yeah, these pets got some time.
But grandma,
and they're innocent. This grandma's not innocent, harboring this meth lab.
Yeah.
I feel like she's the madam.
That's
of
right.
That house.
Oh, she could be. Yeah.
Saying, hey, you're living here. You need to make some money. Sell some meth. Get me some rent.
But now
this isn't that bad of a fire. Okay, go on.
But
now, they did kill their grandmother. She's dead.
This is a wussy
fire. It says their 2 brothers killed grandmother in meth lab fire. So they did kill the grandmother.
With a wussy fire, she was not tough.
So I guess I would be a killer at this point, leaving my 82-year-old grandmother in there.
Especially with such a sissy fire.
But now I feel so bad that I would probably rescue grandma and the pets first. I'm that kind of guy. I would rescue the grandma first.
Maybe my buddy's grandma, but my grandma's going with me every time. Just saying.
I think the pets and the grandma would go first.
Grandma can hold a pet. She toss a pet in her lap and wheel her out of there.
Double up. Yeah.
But I am looking at from the perspective of the meth brothers.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
No, they
logical.
They're facing multiple charges for a lot of shit. So
murder because they killed grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say this: if they killed grandma, and Grandma knew about a lot more stuff that they could get in trouble for, then they probably did the right thing.
It was probably planned, but like you.
Yeah,
I mean,
no witnesses.
She could have been the mastermind. You never know.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
evil mastermind.
Right? Like crazy meth grandma.
Can I grab the wheel a sec?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Because there is some cool headlines that we have in the promo stuff that I want to make sure we don't neglect, especially those 3D printed homes I found. Did you see those egg-looking fellas?
Yeah, they looked pretty dope.
Okay, wait for it.
But they were 3D printed with
hemp.
See, I read the headlines when you guys tagged me in the post to announce me as the special guest, but I just browsed at them, and everything that I'm coming into right now, I'm just coming in.
Yeah, we're getting a little hot reactions,
I'm coming in
hot
blank.
takes.
Hell yeah. That's what I don't know. I like that better.
Oh, I
don't know.
like these.
Yeah, these are so cool. Oh my gosh. Okay, I accept.
We value
Cooking
your
me up.
privacy.
That's fine. Why do you have to get in my way?
Sure you do.
Just show me
True
your
Show me the photo.
Show me your goddamn content and talk to me about cookies later, okay?
I really like these houses.
Right?
I know they look cool.
Look at this
yeah.
neighborhood.
I would live in there.
For the audio folks, they basically look like white dinosaur turds. Like when you have a dog turd
But
that's in the sun
giant-
for a while.
Giant
But
dinosaur
3-story.
turds.
You know what these are going to be? This is going to be the new Lord of the Rings story houses.
Oh, I thought you were going to say tiny homes, like those people with the tiny trailer
That could
homes.
be too, but this could be like the new Hobbit community.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
just
like
yeah.
full-size hobbits, giant hobbits. We're kind of all giant hobbits, right?
Yeah.
So this is a
we are.
community for giant hobbits.
Are you guys like into architecture?
Hell yeah! I follow some architecture
Yeah.
instas.
I'm into some architecture.
Shout out to New Age Cocaine. New Age Cocaine is a cool Insta account that has like retro futurism stuff.
Oh yeah, nice.
So it's like retro view of the future and modern examples too.
This one here that I follow, it's called Restless Arch, RESTLESS.ARCH on Instagram, and it basically shows really cool houses. And they show like they ask you to pick like your favorite
yeah.
terraces and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Pick your favorite terraces.
Yeah, look
Hell
at this
yeah.
stuff. This is amazing. You see this?
Restless.arch. Yeah, okay,
There it
cool.
is.
We're there. We're looking together. We're learning and growing, ladies and gentlemen.
Look
Come
at
on.
this. I mean, they show some
So
really cool
good.
stuff. They ask you like, what's your favorite house, or what's this one?
Oh, this. This is a.
This is in South Africa. Look at that house.
It looks like a Geary, like a Frank Geary.
And these are, you look at these houses and you're like, wow. Look at that art. And that's in South Africa, mind you.
Look at this glass banister
Right?
situation.
So this
Imagine
whole
the
thing,
fingerprints.
I have told many people to look at this. This is your
It's
your
fun.
wish,
It's fun to make fun of it too.
but it's your wish list when you're like, when you're thinking about you want to be a billionaire.
Yeah.
And this is the house that you want.
Imagine all the dust that builds up on these slats.
Right. This is the house envy Instagram is what this is.
Yeah.
And you're like, look at that bathtub. See, I love bathtubs like that. I want a bathtub where I can just sit my whole body in and just be like completely relaxed.
Okay, so we're oogling this bathtub, right? And I do agree that part of this is like delicious to like wish for,
Yeah.
but one of my favorite things is to talk shit on it. Like this bathtub, see how it's separated from the wall back there? Imagine trying to clean in that like half a foot crack between the bathtub and the wall.
I can't believe you're
Imagine
thinking about
trying to
stuff like
clean in
that, but
there.
it makes sense.
Because it looks clean now, but imagine, look at how it's closer to the wall on the top and then further from the wall at the bottom. That'd be a nightmare to try to get in there to clean
Well,
that
I'm
out.
willing to bet that the person that owns this house has a specific maid to do that.
Probably a specific tool to get in there. It's Black
Should
Mold
probably,
City.
They probably. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl.
South
but
African
I would
black
just say
mold.
they. But I'll go back to that shot right there.
Yeah, where the dusty slats
But
are.
look,
Imagine
what is
nothing-
that? Is that another bathtub right there? It
Yeah.
looks like a
No,
tub.
okay,
It's a
yeah.
bathtub inside the bathtub.
So if you're just listening, there's these wooden slats on the ceiling that are maybe like a finger width apart from each other. Perfect for growing a nest of spiders between them and the ceiling. See that? It is in South Africa too. Imagine how many spiders are going to grow up in that ceiling. And then there's like 40 slats going down here that you'd have to dust the tops of all of them.
Here I am trying to talk about architecture, and
It's
he's
really-
talking about the wooden
it's a
slats that
spider
might
farm.
accumulate spiders.
And then fingerprints though. Look at this banister I fell in
true.
love with.
But it's going to be just right up there. It's not going to be on the bottom
Yeah,
unless you have
you-
a kid
you
who
could
just
wipe-
walks up and
You can wipe the top, but imagine you're just palming the top of it so you don't fingerprint it, and then you fall to your death and tumble.
Go
you don't wanna
back to
fingerprint
the
it.
Instagram itself because
Okay.
there are some great photos of just like that. Look
These
at that.
underground houses are amazing.
See, look at that. That
like-
is that's incredible, is it not?
Breathtaking.
Look at that.
This house is a bridge. It goes over a canyon.
Is that what it says?
Well, I mean, if that's a house, it's definitely also
What is
a
the
bridge.
caption on the photo? Does it say?
No, it's like a collection. Oh, wait, here we go. Image
Which
2, the mountain accommodation.
Ooh.
That's a bridge. That's also a house. That's what's going
The
on
third
there.
one is, what does it say?
This is
Oh,
a boat.
come on.
Park your boat at your house.
Greg, are you seeing this?
I'm not.
Oh,
I don't have it
man.
pulled up.
I mean, it's pretty cool, but I just don't see anything to make fun
Oh,
of. in it, so
that
I'm
one
excited.
right there. That's where I need to be.
This house is cut into a cliff. It looks like a cliff just has a mouth on it. That's a house.
I need to live there. Do you know why? Because that's away from everything.
Yeah.
And that's where I
Yeah.
want to be. I'm writing
No
my
one's gonna get to you.
I'm writing my novel, and this would be
That's a novel house.
that's a novel house to just be away from people.
This is too fun just looking at architecture. Oh my
See,
goodness.
I thought you'd appreciate
No,
this.
2 weeks from now, we're dedicating like an eighth of the show to just pure architecture enjoyment.
Yeah.
I can't wait for my final appearance on here, or at least not my final appearance, but like this is
Your
going to be before I
bonus
leave.
appearance.
It'll
It's
be
a
my bonus appearance.
Yeah.
It'll be my final appearance anywhere.
That might, if I find a place like that. Oh, look at that!
I
mean,
can't
look at
figure
that
out what
bottom.
to
I
make
wish
fun
you
of
were
with
looking
this
at this
one.
right now.
I know. Everyone does.
But there's people that can't see, and then we'll describe it. This
Yeah.
is this boxy thing. I love it, but it's starting to look dated. It's starting to be a. But I mean, I can't see where
That's
it gets
very
dirty.
modern.
So. Yeah, this has got.
Look at the
windowsills are kind of
and
retro.
I like the green around it.
But the thing
seems
is,
like these windows are mirrored.
can you 3D print those houses in the side of a cliff?
This one,
Doubtful.
this one that looks like a giant letter P, could 3D print the crap out of that.
Yeah.
Definitely. The house on the cliff, not so much. Ooh, look at that.
This is killer.
That looks almost
just
like
a
the
big
cover
rectangle.
of Physical Graffiti by Led Zeppelin.
That's it. Yeah. Well, there's some dusty slats here. There's a spider
Oh
farm.
my
right
God!
there.
Here we go with the dusty slacks.
And then look at this fingerprinty glass thing there.
Oh.
It's a. It's a.
We're gonna have
epidemic.
the next segment in 2 weeks is gonna be architecture with JVF.
Yeah.
And commentary of slats by Waz.
Disses by Waz. Architecture
3D
disses.
printing that, whatever that is.
In this picture.
Oh,
there-
that's like that. That's like alien pod sleeps things in alien movies.
There's an alien pod situation with like 2 bunk beds and everything is rounded. See, I love this because imagine cleaning these corners would be so easy because the corners are all super rounded. It looks like it's all rounded.
and you don't have to clean the back because the bed is pushed up to the wall.
Yeah, this is all. You could wipe this down with a cloth and be done
That's
in a
interesting
minute.
how this side you can walk up this side and it's not like it's open on the other side.
Yeah, this-
most bunk beds are like that.
This bunk bed, you access the top from one side and you access the bottom from the other side, like a
That's
big letter S.
ingenious.
Brilliant.
that's-
And then look at this molding. Instead of the bottom of the bunk bed meeting the floor, it curves out and becomes part of the floor for like half a foot.
And look, if you look on the other side over there, on the other side of the
It's
bunk
like
bed,
curling
those are
stairs.
drawers. Those are drawers under the bed. Look, you see
yeah.
the slats?
Okay.
There's a drawers or something in there because they wouldn't be there for a reason.
Building drawers into that is wonderful. I have no shit to talk on that.
But it's also a spider breeding ground. I don't know.
Is it?
I don't know.
It has to be in
Spider drawers.
It is now.
Oh,
No, this wicker chair will breed some spiders.
that's for sure.
You imagine trying to dust off of these beams in the top. That's where you get
Okay,
like a rat nest.
Can we move on? I'm tired of talking about the spiders. What are we talking about?
Let's talk about how blue light can make you get fat.
Yeah, late on.
Right. If you leave the TV on, it will fatten you.
Blue
Wait,
light.
we gotta hold it. So get that tail, that blue light, that TV. When you're sleeping with the TV, you're gonna get fat.
And what is it? Just like sleeping with that type of light affects your metabolism?
Yes, apparently.
So if I have the
according to-
TV on and I fall asleep with the TV on, I'm getting fat.
it's fatten you. Well, no, like turn the sound of the TV. That's fine. But you have to turn the image off.
Oh, I do that with the on YouTube where they
Yeah.
for like the 10-hour sleep thing where it's just all black,
Mhm.
and I just listen to rain most of the time because people.
It's a good move.
People wonder. They're like, "You've never lived in the cold, or because you've lived in the desert, right?" And as we discussed, me and the sun, we don't have a working agreement, which neither
No.
do you.
No.
But when it rains, that's my happy time. And people are like, it's sad when it rains. I'm like, for you,
Yeah.
for me,
I get excited.
For me, it
I call
slows,
family.
It slows the world down.
Yeah.
It's calming. It's the same thing with snow. If I hear rain, I'm like, everything slow down. When I see the sun, everybody's like, the sun is peaceful. I'm like, no, that's when everything is moving too fast and everything's like chaotic.
Oh,
that's how I
awful.
look at the sun.
Yeah.
But when it rains and it snows, everything's quiet. It calms down and
everyone takes a
smooth.
second thought.
Right.
Text your buddy. Is it raining where you are? Everyone's all excited.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was raining in New York earlier when I checked the weather because we were talking about weather moving to Australia. All right.
Awesome.
Next piece of business.
So,
the TV light.
Do I have? Yeah, well, that's a simple enough one. And if you want to look more deeply into it, it's a good time to remind you that if you go to greasyconversation.com, we've got a link to this very same live notes article, so you can look at all our notes and all our sources.
So what else do we got to
confirm
cover?
it? But we really got to cover that teen that ate her horse after it was put down.
Yo.
Brilliant, right?
Ruthless.
But that's our agricultural. Specialist there.
I'm gonna
If the
keep
horse
my
has to go
comments to
down
myself
anyway-
on this one.
I mean, the horse lived a great life. It's serving you in a new way. Why waste its meat? It's the best way to honor it. And she said it was the best meat ever. And what love can you share with something that you had a bond with?
But
than to take
So
that
basically,
bond-
you're telling me.
I mean, she didn't kill it like when it wasn't already time to go.
So if I marry somebody, and
I know where you're going, and I agree. It's true.
Well, you're basically saying in the same manner, if I marry somebody, I fall in love, and they die before me, and I eat their remains, that's the way to honor them?
It is a way to honor them, but I feel like while I don't have the strength to do the preparation, were it prepared, I'd honor Ange like that. I'd like to think she would too. I'd like to think she'd get a couple meals out of me.
Well,
I mean, I'm not using that flesh anymore.
I mean, yeah, I think
if my spirit ain't inhabiting it, that's
cannibalism is one of these weird stigmas we just have to get over. You know, it's okay.
You
to
could
eat
get mad cow though. You could get spongiform encephalitis.
I'm okay with cannibalism. I watched, one of my favorite films is Cannibal Holocaust, so I really have no qualms with cannibalism.
You could get encephalitis though if you eat any of the neural tissue. That's how the cows get mad cows, eating brain and spine tissue of other cows.
Okay. So if I ate you, I'd have Mad Waz disease.
No, you just muscle only. You
Okay.
only eat my muscles.
Fair.
And the fat. You can eat lumps of fat for sure all day. Please.
I'm trying to cut down on the fat.
Take it.
Trying to cut down on the
Waz
fat.
No, that keto situation though. All fat, protein.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Keto was just renamed. It was the Atkins diet. They just renamed it.
For sure.
And most of the time, what did he die? Do you know what he died of? The guy who invented it? They didn't tell you. Do you know why they probably didn't tell you?
Did he die of like no bread disease?
Well, what I'm saying is they probably didn't tell you the reason why, because he probably died of having like a heart attack and just eating the meat instead of the bread, right? And they don't want to discredit that, is what I'm saying. And as a person who's a vegan...
Nor that she should not eat vegetables. That vegetables, toss some of that in the mix too for sure.
Most people, I don't... Most people who take out carbs don't realize that carbs are good for your brain. So... in my case, even though I'm vegan, even if I wasn't, I eat a 50%, 30%, 20% diet. It's 50% carbs, 30% fat, 20% protein. That is the balanced way. And of course, you shouldn't really be concerned about the macronutrients more so. You should need to be talking about the micronutrients, like your iron, your calcium, stuff like that, what you're eating.
Or like processed bread versus a proper, if it was carbs from a bread that was like we ate bread in the ancient days, I guarantee they turn into they fatten you up a lot differently.
Sprouted grains are the best.
Yeah.
You eat the
I
best
figure you
bread.
can toss some of that in, no problem.
The best bread to probably eat on the market that I would say is Ezekiel bread.
Yeah, especially if you're just doing keto temporarily to get to a certain point, and then you bring in a balanced amount of carbs. I think balance is always the thing.
But I understand the situation. I think she might have done the right thing by eating her own horse, but I also think if she thought about this logically, she actually could have made some money by selling the meat herself.
That's true.
Yeah. That's such a
great
thing.
point.
But I mean, horse meat isn't very marketable.
It is in certain situations.
Yeah.
She could have sold it and made some money. Instead, she decided to eat it.
Now she sounds selfish.
Right. She could have eaten a little portion and said, "Hey, I want this horse inside of me because it was a part of me." And the horse couldn't really be inside of me because then that would be bestiality.
Oh my god. Yeah, there's a consent issue with that. If you're thinking about.
But she should have sold it for money. And I'm not trying to say I'm that person. Maybe because I'm selling my own stuff on eBay right now that I'm talking about money. I'm not that guy. You guys know me. I'm not very money centric. I don't think of like that. But she could have done some business and actually sold horse meat and made some money.
That's right.
She could have, yeah. Maybe maybe she only had one burger.
Next time, sell the horse meat.
All right, should we do our last short?
Our last Billy Crystal?
Yep. Billy Bob's.
That's right.
Do you want to pay more for a new car or new home or less? Yeah! Do you want to pay higher interest rates on your credit cards or even to refinance student loan debt or less? Yeah! The secret to paying less on everything is a better credit score. Is your credit score less than 700? Do you even know? Well, now at the same time, you can learn exactly what your credit score is and learn how to make it better. And when you call our special credit repair hotline, you'll speak to an expert that will tell you simple steps to start improving your credit score. And the call and consultation are free. That's free. I'm telling you, the secret to paying less is a better credit score, and you can fix it right now. So please make this free call and change your life.
877-857-1658. 877-857-1658. That's 877-857-1658.
That's the sound most people make when they leave Pinches Tacos. Why is that? Because Pinches Tacos prides themselves in making every location unique, but give every location the same feel. I'm not talking cookie cutters like those big chain restaurants. They blend into your neighborhood and create a place you want to call your second home. Their doors are always open. Well, at least until 11 o'clock. Their mission is simple. They provide you the best taco experience by using high-quality meats and seafood, fresh garden vegetables, handmade tortillas, and high-quality artisan breads. They could have made it complicated, but they chose not to. Why? Because they found through experience that keeping things simple is a good recipe for success and happiness. It's also a good recipe for a pretty tasty Pinches taco.
According to Spanish language Stack Exchange, we always use it as an insult enhancer and can turn almost any curse word into a really rude one. Pinche pendejo, pendeja equals asshole.
Now they have 6 locations, 2 right here in Las Vegas. Come in, find out why we love them so much. Check them out on Facebook or visit the website, pinchestacos.com, for a location nearest you.
Hey, Radio Vegas Rocks listeners, it's your favorite troublemaker, Sober Sal from the Not Playing Stupid podcast. I'm headed to Summer Meltdown this weekend to partay. And do you think this degenerate has time to sober up or take a shower to that 4-day music festival? No, ain't gonna happen. The cool thing's on YouTube. I got Dude Wipes. Dude Wipes aren't your typical ass wipes. Dude Wipes are made from plant-based fibers and are actually certified as flushable. Not only are Dude Wipes alcohol fragrance-free, they're also lined with aloe and vitamin E to ensure your anus isn't so heinous. So go to dudeproducts.com and use checkout code SHARTWEEK and you'll receive additional 15% off your entire order. Someone has to take care of your ass. It might as well be you.
Come on, dude, take it to the hole.
It's time for 2 Clueless Dudes.
If you are interested in getting the nacho box, the new nacho box
from Taco Bell.
From Taco Bell in Las Vegas.
In the entire valley.
You are SOL.
Here's why. There was a commercial plane that crash landed into the warehouse in California.
Aw.
I don't know if California's affected.
Taking out all of their nachos. All their tortilla chips.
Wow. No, seriously.
Yeah. It like took out all of the on the Western Hemisphere. All tortilla chips caught fire. And there's apparently a corn shortage.
Yeah, now the valley is also short on corn.
Two clueless dudes. Every Friday at 7 p.m. on RadioVegas.Rocks.
That's it. Hey, you guys, check it out. It's Greasy Conversation. That's the slice of destiny. And we're here with John Bonham Fox. And we're totally getting ready to go back into the submarine of knowledge.
Yeah, so this one is about lucid dreaming.
The
Have
lucidist.
you guys ever tried to do that? Or tried to like actively lucid dream?
I did it the other night.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to remember some techniques. And there's different levels of lucid dreaming. Like there's levels of skill to anything. Like you can roll along the ground on a skateboard and you're technically skateboarding. We didn't pull any tricks.
Yeah.
So it was either last night or the night before. I was having a bit of a nightmare. There were something rushed by. I was on the roof of a building with some friends having fun. And then more like egg-like things rushed by. And they're like, it's drones. It's Chinese drones. They're attacking. And I was like, that doesn't sound up. Drones and there's no propellers on them. They're just like these weird egg drones. I'm definitely dreaming. So I decide, okay, only one way to find out. So I went in a hallway and tried to fly. And I was like, oh, I can fly in this hallway. So I'm definitely dreaming because I can't fly in real life. That's one of the ways you test. This is a known thing. If you can get yourself used to testing if you can fly in your real life, then you're going to do it in your dreams. It's something that you do. So, and since I succeeded in flying, I knew it wasn't real life because I can't fly normally. There's a muscle that makes me fly in dreams. And it doesn't do it. I can't explain it per se, but I think anyone can feel.
If you had that experience, yeah.
When you try to feel like you're flying, like, you know, but you actually fly. So then I jumped off the roof and like flew around, but I was only able to fly for like a couple seconds before I just woke up. And
How
that's the risk.
did you get into the lucid dreaming state?
I was in a normal dreaming state, and I became suspicious that I might be dreaming. Did a dream check in the form of trying to fly. It succeeded in confirming that I was dreaming, which at that point I was lucid in the dream, and that I was aware that I was dreaming and in control. And I was only able to take control enough to fly for a little bit before I woke up. And that's one of the things that happens is like sometimes you become too lucid and you're just awake.
Yeah, my dreams are, they could be lucid or whatever, but most of the time when I dream, like, it's very weird scenarios that I've not been through ever in my life, but some have, and like random people in my life will pop up in my dreams from my past life.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And like because I'm writing this novel, right, and I'm writing it loosely based on my life, so I'm quelling things from that I thought about through my past. Like recently, I'm writing this chapter called Diamonds, and it refers to some of the people that I've dated throughout my entire life. And I thought about this girl that I'd met at a summer camp that I was at for like a week. And I went to this summer camp every year for a couple years, like 4 or 5 years. And on my last time, I met this really cool girl named Rebecca. She was from Desert Hot Springs. And for that week, we were like together for 1 week. And that's all that relationship was. We tried to stay in contact after that. But because, the long distance thing, it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
But I thought about her, and then somehow thinking about these things opened up a whole different portal of my entire life. And now random people from my past are popping up in my dreams with situations that have never happened ever.
Oh, it's so it like activated that?
Yeah.
That's insane.
And by the way, I did not put my mouth on the Diet Coke bottle that you handed me. I was smart enough. I knew you were saying I was taking the mouth risk, but what I decided to do was I poured the Diet Coke into the Pepsi can.
This is blasphemous, but
ingenious in not working. Yeah. Ingenious in recycling and not putting my mouth on the Diet Coke bottle.
Yeah, because that bottle was probably here for mixers, but we don't know if it's been mouthed up.
Yeah.
But now we just know the liquid flowed over a mouthed up opening to get into your can.
Yeah.
Right. So there's like a third party mouthing.
Contamination.
Yeah, there's like an edge mouthing.
I actually just poured it over it so it didn't even touch the can. But this could be like the T-virus kind of thing. And I was actually thinking about that. I just watched in the past couple of days the whole Resident Evil series. I've been on a horror kick, so I watched like Final Destination, the entire collection. I watched Saw, the entire collection. I just watched Resident Evil. Now, because it's Halloween week, I'm about to watch The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and watch all the original Universal monster movies, starting from the beginning in the release date order, which is like Dracula, Frankenstein.
Oh damn!
You know, the Invisible Man, stuff like that. I have all the Universal monster movies.
Yeah.
Creature from the Black Lagoon, Bride of Frankenstein.
Well, you know, on that note, is there any other container that you put your mouth on the outside of to consume what you've purchased? Because cans, you put your mouth on the container that the substance traveled to you in. You don't put your mouth on the outside of like a
pour
Twinkie
a
bag.
bottle into a bottle.
Yeah, but I mean, like the bottle, the cap covers the part you put your mouth on. Whereas a can, you're putting your mouth on the outside that like could have trucker skin flakes wafting onto it and rats humping on it and stuff the whole time, and then you put your mouth on it and drink out of it.
What was on this can before you handed it to me?
Who knows? People could have been grabbing it by the top of the can.
Journey, man. It had a long
could have
life.
rolled through some dog shit. We have no idea.
If when I go to Australia and I have like some disease, I'm calling you.
No, you'll be strong. You'll be like, wow, these people got some disease I didn't get. I wonder what vaccinated me.
I'll probably end up with the T virus, and it'll bond with my cells, and I'll be Alice. Is what the case would be.
Except in Australia.
Except in Australia, and then at some point it'll turn into a Mad Max situation. There'll be like zombies or whatever. And
you'll be an invasive species.
I will be videoing it for you, and I will be sending it in for the show as your Australian correspondent.
Australian correspondent.
And be like, look, this is what's happening out here. It's turning into a planet terror situation.
Yeah.
Nice plug for the Tarantino stuff there.
Australian correspondent. Oh God! Shout out to Greg who unplugged his mic.
Shout out to Greg. And speaking of that, if anybody is a fan, I'm not sure if you guys are and if you've read it, not just working on the novel, but I finally, because of the last movie that came out, my Tarantino compendium that I authored is all finished because of the last movie so far.
Cool.
Nice.
And I did it. When I saw the last movie, I saw it twice in one day. I saw it at 4 p.m. when it was over at 7. Took an hour break. Saw it again at like 9 p.m. with 3 other friends, and I was able to in two viewings see the movie and look for the stuff that I was looking for and pay attention.
Nice.
And then the second movie was the rest of the scavenger hunt. And believe it or not, a couple weeks later, I was in L.A. seeing my friends Massive Attack play at Hollywood Palladium.
Massive Attack.
And
I was jelly seeing that. You know
I know you were. Do you know who I met at the Massive Attack show?
Bob Dylan. I'm sorry.
I met Brad Pitt.
Oh, how funny.
Wow.
Is he chill? He seems like he's cool.
Well, him and we were mutual friends of Chris Cornell, and I didn't go up to him as a fan. I said, hey, man, you and I had a mutual friend. And he was like, who's that? I was like, Chris Cornell. And he was like, he just took a step back and put his hands on his heart and gave me that heartbreaking look. And in that moment, him and I bonded.
That's beautiful. I can picture him.
But then I told him off the cuff, I was like, hey, something funny, though. I wrote this Tarantino compendium. You know how, like, in Inglourious Bastards, Donnie Donowitz, the Bear Jew, is the father of Leo Donowitz, the director in True Romance, who's making a war movie called Coming Home in a Body Bag, which, interesting enough, Donnie Donowitz blew up in the theater, and it was in a wartime, so he ended up coming home in a body bag, which is what his son was writing a movie about. But interestingly enough, Brad was like, yeah, he was like interested. And then I said, and you know how Floyd, the stoner on the couch, your character in True Romance, is related to you, Aldo the Apache, in Inglourious Bastards. And then all of a sudden, he just looks at me in his Brad Pitt voice, did you send it to him? And I was like, send it to him? He's like, yeah, send it to him. He'll get it. I'm like, how do you do that? And he's like, send it to his production company. And I'm like, okay. So Brad was really cool in that moment to bond with me over the Cornell thing, but tell me something that I needed to know to get to my Tarantino thing and try to get a hold of my favorite director.
That's rad.
So if you guys want, I will send you the Tarantino. I will send you both the compendium.
Oh yeah.
And if you ever want to read it, or if if your viewers or your listeners want to read it too, they can. And I would suggest what you're going to do is you're going to think about these movies, and then while you're watching the movie, you're going to pull it up and be like, holy crap. Like all these things that are related to each other.
Yeah, because it's like a consistent universe he's got going on. That's amazing.
There's like little things that he put in, like Kevin Smith would do. Like interest in Kevin
Feet.
Smith movies, Tarantino's thing is feet. There are bare feet in this movie. Sharon Tate or Margot Robbie's character, I think, while she's watching a movie, she
Lady
takes
feet
off her shoes.
specifically.
Right. There's a girl riding in the car with Brad Pitt. She has her feet up on the dashboard. But
Yeah.
I like how in like Kevin Smith films, his cigarettes are named nails, right? And in Quentin Tarantino's, his cigarette or tobacco is called Red Apple.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
but the brand is like in all the movies. Yeah.
Right. And in this one, they actually finally tell you when Red Apple tobacco. It was in like a commercial at the end of the movie, like Leonardo DiCaprio was like in the credits, and they actually tell you when Red Apple was invented, like the tobacco.
Wow. That's dope.
And throughout that, you'd never know.
Wait, I got a quick one I want to throw out because we hyped it, and that's the hero coach that hugged a kid at school with a shotgun that was walking the halls about to shotgun it, and this coach just came and hugged it out of him.
Yeah, he like
What?
disarmed him
Yeah.
and then like gave him a hug. Like
Check
it was a
this
really
out.
crazy moment. Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, wait till you see the footage. So the coach disarms this kid, and so you see other kids running, and this coach just like, I see hugging starting before the disarming.
Yeah, it's kind of like
And look, you can see the talking to him and like showing him love, and then the hug is returned, and it's beautiful, right?
yeah.
All right, this coach is definitely a hero because first of all, he started hugging him when he had the gun in his hand.
Yeah.
He took the gun from him. He gave it to another student to take
Oh
away.
wait, yeah, no, that's the coach with the gun. That's right. So he's got the gun first, but then it turns into hugging.
But what I think the coach did, and I admire, is that right here he's probably telling him, look,
Yeah.
I know you're probably going through something. But
Like,
this
you're
isn't-
valuable,
But
this
you're
isn't
valuable.
a-
This isn't a thing to do.
It's gonna be okay. Yeah.
And the kid will probably get in trouble for bringing, obviously, a gun on campus.
Yeah, totally.
But, like, the coach did the right thing. He just saved a lot of lives. He saved his own life.
Yeah.
And he saved that kid's life.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because that kid probably would have committed or died by... Here's the thing. I don't like using that word committed. Sorry. But that kid probably would have died by suicide.
Mhm.
And this coach just... He really is a hero.
Totally.
And I
Yeah,
commend
for
him.
sure, man.
Like, honestly. As a person who, like I said, who deals with mental health issues and myself and is in the mental health community, this is one of the most admirable things I have seen in a very long time.
Yeah, it's really just
Right?
an awesome moment. And
That made me very happy.
Yeah, this is a good way to start tying off the end of things. As
Yeah.
we're in the home stretch. Now, we do have a good 8 minutes. So it's an 8-minute countdown.
All right, so
8-minute drive.
All right, so I don't know if anyone is familiar with the game company Blizzard. I'm sure you know.
Oh, I'm glad you're grabbing this
My,
one.
I think my friend actually works for Blizzard.
Yeah.
Have you
Well,
heard
may-
about Blizzard's recent controversy?
I have not.
So what happened? I guess there was this. There was like a Hearthstone. They make Hearthstone, which is a very popular online card game. There was like a Hearthstone tournament. One of the Hearthstone players was supporting the people in Hong Kong because there's all the protests and all that going on. That shit's crazy, right? But they were supporting all the protesters in Hong Kong, and so Blizzard basically just banned them from competing in the tournament.
Yeah, it was one kid that won the tournament.
Yeah.
And in his speech winning, he said, like, free Hong Kong in Chinese. And this was a Chinese team. And Blizzard, under the fist of the Chinese government, took that kid's prize away and banned the whole team.
Okay, so I can't believe I'm about to say this, but our vice president, Mike Pence, actually came out recently and was like in support of the protesters as well, which is mind-boggling to me.
Yeah,
But he
That's
basically
pretty cool.
he basically called out Nike and a couple other companies who are under the Chinese regime, like because they manufacture
They
stuff
basically
like
have like some screws getting turned
right,
by China.
and
Yeah.
but they're also trying to quell the protesters, much like Blizzard is. And I'm with the protesters, to be honest. As,
yeah.
as
Oh,
you
yeah,
all know me and
for
my
sure.
activism and stuff like that, I'm with the protesters about this, and I'm with protesting if you're trying to be free and have these freedoms.
Yeah,
and
Well, I mean,
Totally.
if you stand for like American values, as cheesy as that sounds, but like that's they're a model set of values of what roles the government should have and what powers the government should have in Western society.
Emilio Zapata once said, "I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees,"
Yeah.
and that's the way these protesters act, and I'm with them.
For sure.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm really against Blizzard now. I'm really against Nike and any company who's trying to quell freedom.
It's such a bummer because I was so with Nike through the Kaepernick thing, you know.
I'm still with Kaepernick. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, and like I think that Nike being a big corporation, I'm willing to see how different leaders do different things with it and be cool with them again because of what they did to support Kaepernick when no other company was taking a stand. That still matters. But for them to be weird on this Hong Kong thing, it skeeves me out.
There was another company. I don't remember the name,
But before we run out of time, mentioning why these people are all dressed as Winnie the Pooh in this picture, and for the audio people, what I brought up is a new Facebook event that you can join called Raid BlizzCon 2019, dressed as Winnie the Pooh. They can't ban us all. And
Because
why
of-
this is significant,
Oh, you can go ahead.
Xi Jinping, the president of China, looks like Winnie the Pooh. But when anyone brings it up, they're immediately banned in China. For example, PewDiePie, which is funny because YouTube's banned in China anyway. But he shared a meme about Xi Jinping looking like Winnie the Pooh, and then they just banned everything PewDiePie in China now. Which is like, I'm sorry to my Chinese fans, but this is kind of an example of what's messed up.
And this trend of like, raiding places, they can't ban us all from the Area 51 thing.
It's a play on that too.
I'm really over this whole like trying to take control of people situation that's been going on for way too long.
Well, especially people that aren't violent. When there's violence, when there's people who are taking away rights from other people, that's a problem.
Or
when people are
stifling
just
information.
stifling.
Exactly. This might be interesting for some people, but I'm the person that believes you're a human. You should go as you please anywhere you want in the world because you're going to die on this planet regardless.
As long as it's not hurting anybody or getting in anyone else's way.
I don't understand why we have border control. I don't understand why we have passport situations. I mean, I guess I get it, but like, you can still be a country without all that stuff. You can still make money and provide, but what's the point? We're humans. We live on this earth. We die on this earth. We should be able to go anywhere as we please, acting accordingly, unless you're trying to be violent, which is stupid.
The borders aren't blocking criminals. The criminals get brought in other ways. The borders generally block people looking for a better life that actually improve. And in studies in universities for centuries of immigration, the more immigrants come to a country, whether they came from better or worse countries, the people that have the ability and the gumption to immigrate at all are the people most likely to contribute. In the cities that have the most immigrant populations, the clumps of the immigrants are usually where the crime is lower and people work harder, except when it's immigrants that happen to be brought in by crime organizations. And then the problem is the crime organization or the poverty.
When people ask me why I'm kind of a socialist individual, I always say, well, look, I'd rather all the money be pulled together to help people instead of it going to like the top 1% where it's like nobody's getting money and it just barely trickles down.
And I'm willing to take what people that study these things and apply the scientific method to them have to say about it. And the people that have actually studied immigration and hundreds of years of it, and the people that have really applied the scientific method to it, those are the same people that make airplanes fly and make heart transplants work. It's the same method. And if those things work, maybe we should apply that to our immigration policy.
I was just thinking about this because a lot of the musicians that I know that are political, like Anti-Flag or Tom Morello or stuff like that, they always say, well, you don't know anything about politics. Stop talking, right? I understand that like Kid Rock and Ted Nugent have their beliefs too. I don't really call them out and say, hey, you shouldn't be talking about what you want to. But people will call out people like Tom Morello, who believe it or not.
Tom Morello, who has a master's degree, or doctorate.
A Harvard degree in political science. And they say, you don't know anything about politics. Shut your mouth. And I'm like,
he's actually qualified.
Well, first of all, here's the thing. He's still a human being. Right?
Yeah, totally.
Any person who wants to run for president, any person who wants to be in politics, you're still a human being. So by telling a musician they can't talk about what they want to talk about is stupid.
Yeah.
Because they're writing, their songs are still what they're going through and what they want to talk about.
People shouldn't be silenced like that anyway.
No, you're banning freedom. And I'm not trying to ban the left. I'm not trying to ban the right. I'm trying to bring us together so we live in unity. I know that's stupid.
Totally.
I just want us to survive. I'm trying to survive this disease. That's it.
Yeah.
Because right now we are living in a disease. We're trying to. People are telling us what to wear. People are telling us what we need to be doing in China and stuff like that.
Well, it's the origin of the Dark Ages, when information was silenced, when people didn't have the facts to base things on. Disease ran rampant and led to extinction of a significant percentage of the population.
We've had the opioid disease, which I've been a part of. We've had the epidemic of mental health diseases.
Meth.
meth,
Meth
setting
all
people
day,
on
every day.
fire,
Yeah.
stuff
Right.
like that. This is a serious epidemic of the world, and we are headed for disaster, and we need to change things.
Yeah. You know,
And we can do that by coming together and following the example of our next.
Following the example of the Winnie the Pooh situation is
It has
what
to be a
needs to
quick
happen.
one. We're in that last minute.
Yeah, this last one. This has got to be one of the cutest goddamn things I ever saw. Teaching rats to drive little tiny cars.
Oh my gosh,
They're
no
not
way.
even, they're not even cart, but they just made these like makeshift little.
I didn't see this one. This is a surprise to me. Oh my goodness, these rats are driving tiny cars. Oh man, cute overload.
Right.
I like this because it's cute, but I'm wondering what
It was actually a research
Next they can vote.
done. No, it was actually done just to test the temperament of rodents in different conditions.
See if they get road rage.
One was actually giving them like a very luxurious living space and teaching them and giving them toys.
See, I'm okay with that. I'm just wondering if there was any torture involved because
Oh, no, it
I'm not about that.
Yeah,
I can
no,
see
it
they
doesn't
can
seem
get
that
it in
way.
and out of the side part.
Yeah, no, it's
Dang, this rat's
Like
totally
I'm wondering if
driving.
they're forcing them. You know what I mean?
I don't
Which
think
is-
so. No, it doesn't seem that way. It seems like the rats actually enjoyed it a lot.
That rat drove right to the food right away.
Yeah, they actually really enjoyed. Once they learned how to pilot the little vehicles, they really enjoyed driving them around.
Dang,
Okay.
that
And
They
it
do
actually-
look
good at
happy.
it.
They do look happy.
Yeah, and it actually like reduced their
And
stress.
as we understand, I'm just
Yeah.
not a person who enjoys.
Oh,
I've
no,
had-
totally.
had a
Yeah,
few
yeah,
rats.
Yeah. No,
This
I'm
rat
not
looks
about
happy.
like unethical experiments or like injecting them and stuff, but it was just testing the different, like how different environments affect the rats and if that can be applied to humans, which seems to be the case. Like if you keep a human cooped up in a small space, they're not going to be as happy as someone who has a large space and a car to drive. And shit, you know?
I'm wondering if your listeners think that I'm like really like
Because these rats could commute
you
now.
know trying to be like that over temperamental guy
No, I don't
about
think
like
so, man.
I'm just about life and I don't like torture.
Yeah,
even though
for
I
sure,
wa-
no.
even though
No,
I
no,
watch
no.
even though I watch horror movies that do
And
torture.
traffic can be torture. So if we give these rats improper freeway systems, it will be like torture. And that's a takeaway that we have to leave on
Yeah.
to make room for the next show. Stay tuned. It's a Power Pack night. RadioVegas.rocks for this kind of joy and gladness. Oh, wait, we're leaving.
Gentlemen,
It's this.
thank you for having me.
Thank
Yeah,
you so
thanks
much.
for coming on,
It's
man.
been a pleasure.
It has been awesome.
That's right.
Thank
We'll
you.
drag you back on before you Australia it
I
up.
cannot
It'll be
wait.
a good time.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Don't talk shit.